Well, here we go. Show number 211. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. But who's counting? Shit. What's going on? I feel like it's been a while. It's been a while. How are you? So what's up, Michael? Michael Tittle, what's happening, bro? Grunge and Grime Soap Company represent. Everybody else out there. Hey, Chris, out there in Phoenix, I hope you're feeling well, buddy. The Union Tapes. There's a new one. Welcome, the Union Tapes. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Paul Stone, my man. Well, good evening, brother. I hope you will. Larry Kelly. What's going on, Larry? Are you up there? Are you up there at Bridge 9 with our man Chris Wren? Meanwhile, what's happening in London, Volt? Yeah, man, we miss you too, bro. You're an intricate part of this show. You know, Daisha, how are you, hon? I hope things are well in your world. Kenna, in Miami, my kind of town. You know, AD, what do you say? Robert Hogg in Scotland. That's right. RS, what's up? This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, The Texas Silver Rush, The TFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, and DeWolf Publishing. It's a completely independent publishing house formed by authors Amy Yates Wolfing and Stephen D. Lodovico in Philadelphia in the year of our God, 2014. To date, they've released 5 books with widely ranging topics, including graph culture, American ska and reggae, punk zine culture, and the soon-to-be published memoir of Adrenaline OD. Their mission is to preserve and curate subculture and its history. Get your face out of that phone. Get out of that fucking phone. And get into a book at www.dewolf.com. Come on now, Grunge and Grime Soap Company. They're a handmade soap and skincare company with a rock and roll spirit. Based in Smashville, Tennessee, they combine their love for rock music and their love for creating products that are good for your skin and good for your soul. Since 2019, they've been creating high-quality, natural handmade soaps and skincare products with ethically sourced and sustainable ingredients. This is a product that I vouch for. I just took a shower about 15 minutes ago, and I was rubbing one of their bars of soap all over my body. They give 10% of their net proceeds to local and community outreach programs. Visit the website at www.grungeandgrime.com and enter the code DREW and get 20% on your first order. Some soap and wash that body. That said, Dola White 13, nice to see you, man. Good. I'm looking forward to today's show. We got a good old friend on, and we're going to talk some hardcore history and folklore. James Elliott, what's happening? Then get back on your phone for the Chronicles. Yeah, there you go. Right. Buy a book and read it before you go to sleep. Hey, Paul. UK Punks represent. Lee Bundy, what's up, man? All right. Enough with the prelim. Rich Zoller, what's up? Stephen Messina, what's up?
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
You're going on.
I'm on. I'm here. I've made it.
It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
That's it. That's it.
What's new and exciting in your world?
Oh man, no, we had a great weekend. You know, just definitely ran amok this weekend.
Yeah, we did.
You know.
Hey, you know what? I want to cut right to the bone here, Kimo.
Let's do it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, photo of the day. Boom.
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting one right there.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
You know what? You caught me off guard with this one. This is actually taken in 1987, and that is a guy named Steve Grimmett. He was the singer in a band we've mentioned on this show a whole bunch of times called Grim Reaper, and he passed away. He passed away a couple of days ago suddenly. Most known for a song called "See You in Hell, My Friends," and That was
You know, it could almost be like Steven Messina, the metal years, bro.
Yeah, well, this was an amazing show. This is backstage at Sundance. It was Armored Saint, Halloween, and Grim Reaper. And this was, I actually ran into him again in 2018 in Germany at the Keep It True Festival. And by then he had actually lost, I just learned this. I knew at the show he had lost a leg. Like he wore a prosthetic. He wore a prosthetic limb on stage. And when he came off stage, he took his leg off. And I thought it might have been from diabetes or something, but it was from an insect bite in South America that apparently he literally lost his leg because of it.
Well, let's get something. Let me just since we're here, let's get something straight. I'm never leaving the island of Manhattan again. I mean, I'm fine. Like, I don't go nowhere anymore, and I don't give a shit. If they blew up, like Escape from New York, if they blew up all the bridges and tunnels, and I was stuck on the island of Manhattan, I wouldn't give a fuck. Seriously.
I hear that.
You know what? And another thing, I don't go in the water anymore. Because it's all full of sharks.
Well, listen.
And I don't go in the woods because there's bears there.
Listen, animals don't
Lori
do well,
Dawn says bugs are no joke in South America. Fucking bug was probably this big.
Oh yeah.
Probably bit this fucking guy's leg off.
Well, do you know what a brown recluse is?
A bug this big that'll bite your fucking leg off?
No, it's a spider that you can find anywhere in New York and Long Island.
Right.
And if they bite you, whatever part of you they bite necrophies, and literally like it'll die, like the flesh just dies, and people lose hair, they lose fingers, they lose toes, and these are in any basement. You can have them, right? They could be one in your bathroom right now.
Nah, bro, there ain't no bugs in my, a couple of roaches once in a while. Bro, I ain't got no spiders or fucking shit like that in my apartment, dude.
Right.
Hey, let's talk about this.
Let's do it.
What's going on with this? Anybody know what's happening here? Just right answers only, please. With this one, this was
Sunday.
Yeah. Sid the Kid says leeway. Yes. This was leeway. So tell us about what this was. Tell us about what this is.
Well, I believe it was going under Leeway NYC, right? I think for the reason, but
Leeway NYC in order to differentiate between sort of the classic leeway. But
the cool thing, I mean, this band was really solid. In fact, I've seen these guys before, in other incarnations, and I thought they sounded.
Whoa! And he's gone, just like that.
Oh,
he's back.
That was weird. I don't know.
It was weird. It was weird.
I don't know what the heck just happened there.
Yeah,
but
these two guys, the two guitar players. You can't see the other one here. That's Gabby and Eddie. They were recently in Cro-Mags, Harley's version of Cro-Mags. They also have a band, Damn Your Eyes, that were really good.
Yeah. In fact, I had seen them at the Pyramid Club with Harley.
Yeah, I was there.
In fact, they were there. Really, really solid. These guys are really great musicians. And
Gabby, right? Rappo says that Gabby was in the Cro-Mags during the Alpha Omega era.
Right. I got to tell you, they were really good. And I was, overall, this is from the Run Muck Fest, which we just had on Sunday, which was 7 bands, 2 floors. And it was really a tremendous, all the bands brought it, and, we had the RBNX, we had Necrotic Society.
There you
Awesome
go. That's a great shot.
Oh, she's such a voice. She's something. They're great. They put on a great show. Sid the Kid's band, United Blood. Jeff, in Rage from Staten Island, and I gotta tell you, man, I gotta give it up. to our friends in the car bomb parade.
Hey, you got to shout out Jimmy Williams, man. Says he played with Gabby and Danny Diablo. What's up, Jimmy? I hope you're well, man. You got to come on the show one of these days.
Yeah, it was. You know, we saw. I mean, I thought all the bands were great, but I mean, that small room upstairs, I had a blast in that room.
You know what? And, people bitch when I'm like, "Yo, you're gonna play this small room," and they're like, ugh. Like,
the energy in that room was fantastic. And
listen,
you know what? It was. I mean, it was awesome. The Rev returned to the car bomb parade.
Yeah,
and
I got a shot of him somewhere. Hold on.
They tore that place to bits. They were so good. In fact, they had a new bass player named Ivan.
It was great.
It was great. They really, you know what? It was a great show.
And this dude showed up.
Eugene.
We're not mad. Yo, this dude, Eugene Hutz from Go-Go Bordello, came and represented hard at the Hardcore Matinee. That was great.
He is the coolest guy, and he's such a fan of the scene, and he's becoming a regular now. I love it. I mean, it's just like I talk to Gene all the time, and he's playing our park show, and I can't wait for his acoustic set. I mean, if you've never seen Go-Go Bordello, they're you can't even describe them. They're like unlike any band. You know, there's something else. They really are. There's the man right there, Sid the Kid. You know, with a very familiar looking drummer. That guy pops up all over the place these days.
Yeah, that's Mike from Car Bomb.
Yep, and Incendiary Device as well. The last time we
saw
you
Where are you,
guys.
Sid? Where are you, Sid?
He's not sleeping again, is he?
He's either sleeping or jerking off. You know? Who knows? Who knows? It's a crazy world.
But it was you know what? I really enjoyed the up and down. The fact that as soon as one band went off, you ran right downstairs for another band.
Yeah, man.
You know, and
those shows are a lot of work, and
I bet
having Women of the Pit involved was very helpful for me to just run the show.
I'll tell you, man. Great seeing these guys.
Yep.
Great seeing Jeff. Great seeing and Rage. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I mean, all our shows are fun, but I love the whole upstairs, downstairs.
Here's a good one. But you know what? Speaking of Women of the Pit, this is a great shot. There you go. Bam. The whole.
Oh, look at that.
As Ray Hogan lurks in the background.
I just tried stalking.
Like, yep.
This is a great crew right here, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, we got that's drummer Mike's wife there on the corner. You got Rachel from Bitch Switch in there.
Yep.
It was such a good day. You know.
Shouting out Mike Valente. I know Mike. We went up to play Albany, and it was a great show. And Mike Valente wasn't there. Like, part of the reason I wanted to play the show is to hang out with Mike Valente. You know, it was
wow.
It was good, man. Thank you, Mike. It was a great
brick
show.
by brick.
Yeah. Yeah. Here. Speaking of Nikki from Car Bomb, here's a great shot.
There he is.
Yeah, with that great banner, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you, his banners are awesome. One of these days, I wish he would do like a gallery thing with all his banners.
That's the nicest banner he's done. Really fucking nice.
He really has done some beautiful work. I would love to actually see him, like, have them do one of those, like, you know, like when they film it in slow motion and speed it up and show him from soup to nuts doing it. You know.
There you go with the Godzilla shirt.
Fat Bones.
You know, we're gonna bring him on. We're gonna bring him on later. But this is a nice shirt, man. That is a pretty cool shirt.
It is a pretty cool shirt.
Yeah. I know I'm showing
King
a lot
of the Monsters right
there.
there.
I know I'm showing a lot of pictures here, but here are three really big supportive guys here. Three regulars. I'm talking about Ray Hogan, Mr. Wolf Larry Kelly, and Chris Iconicide.
Yes.
How about Chris Iconicide comes to every show now? That's cool.
You know what? He not only comes, he sits right up front.
Oh, Chris Icon
the whole time. You know
what? He's won me over, Chris Icon aside.
He's I got to tell you, it doesn't. If it's 120 degrees, that guy's still in like 2 shirts and a coat.
Yeah, he's not scared to work up a
sweat.
Yep.
And he's you know what? He's hardcore. He really is.
Here's the last one from Sunday. Me and Larry Kelly.
That's a class. This is a shot we have to take every single show.
Yeah.
You and the wolf.
Me and Larry. Yo, these shows couldn't happen without Larry Kelly. Man.
No.
Like there's a lot that goes on. These shows just don't magically happen.
He's like the professional, like Leon the professional,
Although it's like, I'm a fucking sorcerer, not a magician. There's a difference, So
Larry is the man.
A lot of work goes into these shows, a lot of phone calls back and forth, a lot of equipment, a lot of stuff. And Women in the Pit, was great. And Larry Kelly, I couldn't do it without him, man,
Yeah. And you know what? He's also again, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. So
all right.
We got a good crew.
Hey, your crew. What you gonna do? All right. We'll talk to you in a bit, man.
You got it. I'll see you guys in a little while.
Are you working?
I'm working. I'm here in the office right now.
All right. We'll see you in a bit.
Hey, you want to see the schedule for tomorrow? Now,
I don't think the company would appreciate it. All right, I'll see you in a bit.
I was never here.
This is the one, the only New York Hardcore Chronicles live. Sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, Generation Records, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, 126 Hardcore Clothing, DeWolf Publishing, and DTFM Vinyl Distro. It's a record store that specializes in underground music, punk, ska, hardcore, metal, and more. Located in the heart of Fargo, North Dakota's industrial district. Shop in person or online at www.dtfmvinyldistro.com, where the motto is death to false metal. You know what? We can't avoid this any longer. Let's bring on our guest. Let's clear the deck. Everybody okay? Chat room. Rick to Life hasn't infiltrated the chat room. Let's get that ID album out already. Yo, we're on it, bro. We're on it. The Incendiary Device record is coming along. It's great. I think. At least I think so. We're working on it, man. The ID record, 12 songs. 12 songs. Killer show in Albany, Drew. Awesome. Yo, Stefan, thanks so much for being there, dude. It was great. And shouting out Mike Valenti again. Thanks, man. So that said, come on. Enough of me talking about me. Let's hear you talk about me. All right, here we go. Let's see. Everybody ready? Everybody lined? I see you laughing there. Today's guest is an American drummer hailing from the mighty borough of Queens, New York. In his incredibly proficient career, he is known for his work with the bands Scarhead, Murphy's Law, Maximum Penalty, Harley's War, Electric Frankenstein, Crown of Thorns, Joe Coffey, Marauder, Sub-Zero, and the Misfits. Please welcome, coming at us from Las Vegas, Nevada, our old friend, Mr. Eric Goat Chupacabra, Arce.
What's up, Drew? That's quite an introduction there.
You know what wasn't in there? I didn't put Seeing Red in there. I forgot.
Oh yeah, that's right. When's the next next rehearsal?
We'll get to that. What's happening, man?
All good, brother. All good. Nice. Thank you for having me on.
It's about
I love
time.
the show. I love the crew you got going on with you. I'm happy to be here, man. Thank you.
Look, all your old friends are coming out.
Oh, look at this guy.
Jimmy Williams,
Thank God I just saw the guy. Love him.
You're a beloved figure here in New York, bro.
Thank you.
You're like, you're one of the rare kind of New York hardcore guys that, doesn't have like a bunch of enemies.
I got to say, I get along with everybody. There's a couple of people out there that would say I'm a piece of shit, but, we try to keep that at a low number. But hey, if everybody likes you, you're doing something wrong.
Tell me about it. Bob Riley, Bob
Oh my
Riley
God.
loves you, goat.
My brother,
Right?
Bob Riley, I love that guy. I known him for a long time. Stigmata,
Yeah,
just a
man.
regular, wonderful guy from Troy, New York.
Yeah, man. We've met the enemy, and the enemy is us, Troy, New York. So let's jump into it a little bit. What's the latest? I mean, what's going on since the pandemic? I know you left New York City and you're living out in Nevada. What's new and exciting? Just bring us up to speed.
Yeah, nothing. You know, I came into New York last week. I haven't done too much musically since I've been out here, to be honest with you. But I did get a great opportunity to come out and play with my boys at Maximum Penalty in Brooklyn for a tribute show for Richie McLaughlin. And that was cool. You know, like they gave me like a month of a heads up, or maybe even a little bit longer than that, and it got me into like I'm used to having like training. You know what I'm saying? Getting into shape, getting my head together, learning material. So that was a lot of fun to do. But you know, I've been out here for 2 years. Came out here right before the pandemic hit hard, and I'm kind of glad I left New York when I did. You know, because everything went to shit out there. And since everybody's so on top of each other, you know, it seemed like it really affected things. You know, and it affected us out here, but you know, we're much more spread out. You know, so I didn't feel like you know, that like terror, you know, that like, you know, Jackson Heights, you know, I was from Jackson Heights. It was just like, you know, you were hearing stories every day. Or like,
bro, if I got COVID, chances are I got it from getting in the elevator in my building. You know what I mean? It's just like, or like, you know, the subway or something.
Yeah, the subway. Nobody was stopping going to work, you know. Out here, everybody, you know, you got to get into a car, you go to work. If anybody's walking down the street, it's like a big deal, you know. So we're just not on top of each other the way that we are in New York. So thank you, Jimmy. Thank you.
Hey, you know what? We got to get Maximum Penalty. You got to play one of these Bowery Electric shows, Jimmy. You know.
Yeah, we did. Oh no, not Bowery Electric. We did the.
You did A7 a couple years ago. Yeah, we got to get you back.
And that was a great show.
We got to get you back here. That was your going away show.
Yeah, that was great. That was really, man. I felt the love that night.
That was really great.
Your
man AC Slade showed up. That was cool.
Yeah, AC Slade. Wow, that was cool.
That's your dude.
People were like, you know, falling onto the drum set and knocking shit over. Like, you know, it was good.
The shows are great. So, Ratbone set it off. So, how did you come up? Did you grow up in a musical household? How did music come into your life?
You know, not formally. You know, like we appreciated music in my house. I have 2 older brothers that you know, they listen much older, like 15 years older than me. You know, so you know, when I was a little kid, they were listening to cool music like the Manhattans, you know, the Shy Lights, you know, the Temptations.
Did you say? I'm sorry. You have 2 older brothers?
Yeah.
And you're the youngest of 3 brothers?
Of 3 brothers, yeah.
Wow.
So they were, you know, like my parents were older. My father was in his 50s when I was born in 1969, which is kind of, my mother was in her late 30s. So my brothers were, you know, they were big influences on me when I was young. And, you know, they listened to R&B, you know, soul, regular, you know, the classic, you know, whatever was playing on the radio. And, you know, it was cool to have that. My mother. You
mentioned Jackson Heights. Did you grow up? Were you a young child in Jackson Heights?
Jamaica. I grew up in Jamaica, actually.
Jamaica.
I lived in Jackson Heights for 25 years, and I keep on moving away from my camera.
It's okay. I keep doing this, you know, but I like this, you know. This is good.
I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, you know, and I moved to Jackson Heights in my early 20s, and I was there for like 25 years. What's up? What's up, Walter?
That's
my boy too.
Up, Walter?
All right. Can I say hello to people as they come up?
Of course you can, bro.
Yeah, well, nice to hear from him.
We're making it up as we go along.
Hard, you know, biggest heart in fucking hardcore.
Yeah. All the drummers are showing. All the drummers are showing up to the.
Yeah, show me love, bro. Show me love.
Yeah, all the drummers.
Everybody, you know, everybody added a little bit to me. You know, everybody gave me a little of an idea here and there. You know, but yeah, Jamaica, Queens is where I grew up, and I grew up with having 2 older brothers. They loved music. My mom was very religious, and she had a beautiful voice. She sang in church, she would take me to church, not on Sundays. I would go to church 3-4 times a week. And that was my first introduction to like a drummer on stage killing it,
Right.
and being like, wow, it's really, the drummers, like, who cares what's going on? The drummers is murdering every song, overplaying every song.
This was in church.
Yeah, which is right. That's not so unusual,
Like Blake says, like 50 Cent says the same thing. Like his first exposure was church.
Yeah, sure. So nothing formal, but we loved music. My mother loved music. A lot of singing in the house. My brothers with their influence. It wasn't until 7th grade I had a friend of mine, Imran Malik, brought over a Live 2, which blew me away.
Back to Kiss, huh?
Of course, that's what started everything. It wasn't until like 7th grade, maybe I was like 11, where like I joined like the school band, and then I started to get really influenced by things.
What gravitated you to drums? Did you just go right to drums?
I think I wanted to play trumpet first. Then there were no more seats in the trumpet section, so they were just like, "Hey, man, there's a room in the drum section," So that's how that started. But yeah, I didn't really have any. I didn't have anything, any drum thing related before that. Just so happens that's the way it worked out. Orchestra snare drum, very, square, But other guys,
I guess it's. I mean, I guess in a certain way that starting that way, you sort of learn the rudiments of drumming, right? Like you learn at least you're you're learning the basics, the building blocks, and you could kind of. I know a lot of hardcore guys just jump into it, and that's what hardcore is about. But
yeah. And that's cool too, like that's cool. When I started playing, punk or hardcore, or however you want to say it, Murphy's Law was my first experience like that. Believe me, man, I thought I came in thinking that I was better than I was, like that's when they were just, I had to learn how to play that type of thing. And that's why sometimes that approach to it, like you're saying, is great. It's very difficult to replicate, because it's like listening to a guy that doesn't play drums. They do things unorthodox. I'm always thinking in tight, nice figures, that makes sense. Where you got some, whatever, and it doesn't have to just be hardcore.
That's the interesting thing about drumming is because it's mathematics, basically, right? It's all mathematics. But what's interesting is you have guys like Tommy Ramone, who basically, was put in that position. They needed a drummer and created a style, so that's a very cool thing about drumming and drummers is that a lot of times, something new is created because you don't know the basics,
And very difficult to replicate too, man. I mean, to this day, I could play Ramon songs, but they're not easy to play. People go, "Oh, that's simple." It's not nothing simple about it. I mean, it may not be sophisticated, but it ain't simple. And also, well, whatever. I'll get to that later. But like guys like Robo. Like when I first met him, and I had the opportunity to speak to somebody that played on songs that I'm just like, what were you thinking about? They asking me to play this song. How do you play it? And he goes, "Oh man, like I count everything in threes, and I make it work over 4, and that's why it sounds so awkward. Like, are you doing that on purpose? He very, like broke it down for me. No, man, I just think of things differently.
Well, Robo's
that's
another
why Robo's
guy.
Robo. That's why Robo's Robo.
There's you can't make sense of a lot of his drumming is so unorthodox.
And ain't that cool? Ain't that cool?
Yeah. So you start playing. Was there a couple of early bands, and how did you get into Murphy's Law?
First, early. I was thinking about this the other day. It was a really early band. Maybe when I was like 13 years old. The Chili Peppers, like early Chili Peppers.
Sure.
I was. I was living a time. I know you're about the same age as me. Like the lines were very, very strict. You were either like, you were either to rap. I don't even think there was hip hop back then, right? It was like you were like rap, or you were like, you had long hair, you were into metal, or you were into punk rock, or you this, and everybody had their box that they had to fit in,
Mm-hmm.
And I was, like from an urban place, yeah, we'll get into that. I got too many to mention, but I'll try my best.
But as a very young person, just picking up the sticks, who really spoke to you? Peter Criss?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I would. You can't not do anything without Peter Criss. Big time Peter Criss fan. But the guys that really like made me want to become a drummer. It wasn't until I got a little bit older, and I could mention guys like Billy Cobham, Steve Gadd.
Come on now.
Come on now. I know you're hip.
Billy Cobham.
Like, yeah, to this day, I mean, these are guys that like, they were very big influences. I mean, right. Neil Peart,
Tony Williams.
Copeland, Tony Williams, Jimmy Williams,
right.
One of the great hardcore drummers.
Mm-hmm.
That's as well as one of the great singers. There were guys, like, did I mention Stuart Copeland? Like, that was like a big thing to hear, like somebody, the early, maybe a little bit later, like I got very into like Joe Jackson, post-punk, Squeeze, a very orchestrated, tight drumming,
Sure.
Those are influences, but musically.
It's interesting you bring a lot of those guys into the mix, because in the New York Hardcore Chronicles film, Harley Flanagan actually talks about influence of like Return to Forever and stuff like that in the early Cro-Mag stuff, like with what they were doing. Yeah,
you can hear
sure.
Yeah. Right. The early, what a brilliant band that was. And Harley once told me, he's like, a note has three parts to it. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's not just one. One hit, and it's important to know where you're going to fit into those three spots, and it's true. That's why that first Cro-Mag record grooves so well.
Yeah, that record swings.
It swings,
yeah. Here's I think this is kind of like one of the earliest photos I kind of have of you kind of doing it, right?
Yeah, look at Raven in the back.
So how did things come into focus? How'd you end up in Murphy's Law?
I auditioned for Murphy's Law. I was working on an ambulance. I was an EMT.
Wow.
I worked with this guy, Bill Drescher, who's Jimmy's cousin. And, I was like not a professional musician. I was playing in a local band, and I was with Billy, I was hanging out in his car, and he was telling, I knew Murphy's Law, and he was like, oh, you guys should open for Murphy's Law. And I was like, yeah, let's do this, So I said, yeah, I'll call my cousin right now. So he calls Jimmy, and he goes, yo, I'm with this guy, he wants his band to open up for you at a show. And Jimmy was, Mike McDermott just left the band.
Right.
And so he was like, listen, man, just tell him to send me a tape of his band. I really got a lot of stuff going on. I'm auditioning drummers right now. It's not going very well. And and then I was like, oh, tell him can I audition for the band, And he was like, yo, can he audition for the band? And Jimmy was like, I could imagine he was just like,
well, you know what? Fuck
EMT
that. You know what? Let's just ask him. Hey, Jimmy, is that how it
went down? Here I am.
Jimmy, you ruined my life.
He shall appear.
Love you, brother. Love you.
Is that how it went down, Jimmy?
Do you remember that call?
Yeah, actually, my cousin Billy, it's all his fault that Goat's life is ruined, or more interesting than saving dead people.
Right.
But you remember, I used to pick guys up in the ambulance.
We drove around in the ambulance, huffing oxygen and going to Coney Island High.
Yeah. But you know, I auditioned. I walked into the studio, Ludlow Street. You know, Todd, Jimmy, Phil Caivano was in the band. Nobody knew me from a hole in the wall. Here's this kid with long hair, with fucking braids, and
Chibo.
Pumas. Chibo, right? Chibo. I got the nickname Chibo. I did 3 songs. They never told me, yo, you're in the band. They never said, hey, man, congratulations, you're in the band. They were just like, you know, we got a show in 2 weeks. Can you make it? And I was like, okay, I guess so, you know. Then I got run over by a horse. Then I got, you know.
Oh, my God, the horse. Yo, his first show, we're playing the Dude Ranch with Warzone, and we're riding horses. This is where the famous Rick to Life horse picture came from. Yeah. And we're lined up to go on a full gallop, and Goat's horse decides to roll over on him in a mud pit and damn near crush him.
Yeah, and I had just gotten my back tattooed. I had just sat for 5 hours getting my back tattooed.
Hold on. I have a reference here. Here you go. From that day, there he is on the horse.
There's one of me. There's one of me with a broken leg. I was riding a fucking horse with a broken leg. That was Arrowhead Ranch.
Arrowhead Ranch. I remember seeing Jimmy do a nitrous, a hit of nitrous.
Oh my God!
Falling over onto his face, onto like a rock. Broke your glasses? Did you break your
glasses? Yep, and that's when I got up then. And I went to smoke a joint, and I actually picked up a praying mantis and went to smoke a praying mantis.
Yeah, we were. My first show.
What are the odds of dropping a joint and going to pick it up and picking up a praying mantis and going to smoke it? It whacked me in the mouth. You can't make this shit up. That's page number 42 of my new book.
Happy birthday, Jimmy. I heard the boat ride was a great show.
It's good, and I didn't have one fucking drink the whole time.
I missed that, huh?
Yeah, great. Yeah, great. I had an episode the week prior, so I need to take a break. Well, a good man needs to know when to take a break.
All right, good.
I'm in timeout right now. Not the magazine in the corner.
So, Goat, when you joined Murphy's Law, you were 23 years old. Of course, Todd Youth, God rest his soul, was in the band. I think Phil Caivano, right? And you were in the band for quite a while. And you know, I was listening to, getting ready for this show. I was poking around, and I sent Jimmy a message. That's what started. But this is a damn good record, produced by Daniel Ray. Any recollections of this?
Yeah, totally. First of all, the artwork, Uncle Al, you know, doing it in his apartment, making all those figures, and you know, coming up with a great idea. So many cool, you know, you could look around the picture, you know, you got Flanagan there, Todd, Steve Pass, me in the back looking good.
With the long hair.
Yeah, the long hair. You know what's funny about it? I don't, you know, right? Who's playing bass?
The generic clay man.
We had a weird
I think we had difficulty with someone during that time, and we just made a clay with a clay figure with no personality.
It happens to every band. We got to do a music video, and that dude's not in the band anymore.
Yeah, so that's what happened with that. But recording it, you know, that was my first record. Writing it was fun, man. You know, being in the band at that time, it was like, yo, we were young. Imagine
we did it right. Ago. We did pre-production. We were playing those songs backwards and forwards.
Yeah,
and then
writing them.
And when we went and we actually wrote songs. That's when the band was a working unit. And people wonder why the band doesn't put records out. It's because we were working like every week. We were in the studio banging it out.
And we were talking to each other every day. We were hanging out every day.
That record, Daniel Ray did a great job on that record. Like the production on that record's very good.
Oh my God, Daniel Ray is great. And he's very easy to work with. He'll have you play the song 3 times while smoking half a joint and go, okay, that's good. I'm going to comp it. And then it comes out like amazing. He's great. And of course, that's all analog. We recorded all that on an e-board, analog recording on tape with tubes and strings and nothing digital.
Yeah.
We might have mixed down digital, and then when we mastered, we went to, I think it was Howie Weinberg mastered it, who's like the best in the business. That's before we knew it was a business. And Howie did a great job on it.
I'm looking up. Hold on, I just want to see. I'm not remembering. It
But my first time playing to a click track too, by the way.
And talking about Robo's the only drummer you see playing on fucking dowels. He doesn't play on drumsticks. He plays on like wood.
Those are real.
No,
that's real.
like,
That's true.
Maybe baseball bats.
That record was recorded at Spa, right?
Spa. Yeah.
So Spa, we did. We jumped around to a couple places. Where did we?
But the live stuff was at Spa.
Yeah, the Party's Over was done at Eddie Luke's place, which was really
the Party's Over was another fun record.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was
tight unit. Yeah.
Preparation and pre-production is the key to having a good record done, and unfortunately, what we got now isn't that. So that's
take your time.
It's
all we do.
Here's the
All right, they wouldn't let us put this in the American version. It's only on the import, right?
Yeah. What is this? The back cover of the import?
Am I right, Jim?
I'm not sure. I think they let us put it on the first pressing of it.
Everybody's on this.
Yeah, Phil Caivano, Japan. We went to Japan in like '94 or '95. Young Isaac.
Before everybody.
Murphy's
Fishbone
Law
was there before us.
Murphy's Law is always loved in Japan.
Thank God.
Right before
I
the
much
pandemic,
prefer to go there where the toilet washes your hiney and the air conditioning works.
I wonder where this is. This one.
I don't know, but Jake's ready for it.
It's coming. I know it's coming.
Incoming.
It's coming.
Why does my back hurt?
What's that?
Why does my back hurt? I wonder.
Right. Here's another one that you sent me, Goat. That's pretty cool. In front of New York Hardcore Tattoo, right?
Yeah. Look at Jimmy. Look how young he looks there.
Oh my God, that was the lighting.
That's Sal Villanueva and Ricky Bacchus from D-Gen, and Sal Villanueva from Demon Speed, and he produced the Scarhead record that I played on.
Yeah, Sal's really talented.
Very talented guy. Who I haven't, not for anything, I haven't spoken to him in a long time. I hope he's doing okay. Sal, you're out there. God bless you, brother, man. I had some great times.
This one here is a little blurry. You sent it to me, but I decided to keep it anyway because it has Todd Youth in it, our old friend. So that looks like it's out of a magazine or something.
Yeah.
That's from the video shoot for What Will the Neighbors Think, I think
for In Effect magazine.
Yeah, that would be this.
You're not to find, just don't pay. What will the neighbors think I say to myself? What will the neighbors think I laugh out loud? I don't care.
Now they got kids of their own. I was just with Schnapp last night. He's doing good. And Todd's daughters that were in that last shot now have their own kids. Oh,
yeah, crazy.
We're getting old.
That's happening.
Unfortunately, in that shot, there's a lot of friends that aren't around anymore, and some of our friends that are mindless now and out of their minds.
Here's yet another one from '96.
With Paulie the Bulldog.
What's Club Addict? Is that in Europe?
That was in Japan.
Oh, that's right, Japan. Right.
And Dean Rispler, when Dean Rispler was in the band, what a great time it was when he was in the band, bro.
He's just like funny all the time.
Funny all the time. Great bass player, easy to get along with. Great on the
talk
road.
Shit. We talk, man. The four of us there. Wow, talk shit.
Yeah.
That was hang out, talk shit nonstop. The only time we stopped talking shit was when we slept.
Yeah,
that was a good lineup. A lot of people say it. The Todd, Chuck, and Doug lineup was great, and that was great.
Of course.
But that lineup right there, that lineup was dude, I'll never forget. There's the footage of us in '95, and I'm on tour in Japan, my first tour in Japan, with a broken ankle with a cast on my leg, hopping around, and it's just ape shit. The first show, everybody's just going nuts. It's great. Quite an experience.
Yeah. When is your leg not broken, by the way?
Well, now my
Now-
balls are broken. Now the dick's dick is broken.
It's working its way up the body.
This is a great shot.
This was completely posed. I made Jimmy. Jimmy was like, "Why are you making?" I wanted to take a picture, just like as if we were just hanging out talking, but it's completely posed. This
You know
was
what?
the last
You fooled
day
me.
in Japan.
You fooled me. I thought what a great moment this is.
Jimmy's literally saying right here, "Why are you making me sit here like this?" And I was just like, "Just shut up and just let me take a picture real
You
quick."
look way cooler than me in that picture, that's for sure.
Man, you look cool. That was the Hells Angels. The Hells Angels came. The Japanese Hells Angels came out to the show.
Oh my God, that's right. That was that last trip. Oh,
Japanese Hells Angels, huh? I didn't know such
Yeah.
things existed.
Luckily, we got to say goodbye to Mitchie Straight Edge, who just recently passed away.
What a God rest his
Sad.
soul, man. Yeah,
Another
Mitch
guy-
been out there a couple
Mitch
times.
passed away?
Mitchie Straight Edge, a guy that used to do our merchandise there. We had a
Promoter.
misunderstanding through Jack, who's not with us anymore either. And we didn't talk for a long time. And then we saw each other he came to see us at a show, and we hugged it out. And I'm so thankful we got to do that. Otherwise, I'd have a hell of a burden on my shoulders of not making peace with a friend like that.
What's
So
going
always hug
on?
your friend.
What's going on here?
That's the famous Aaron Meatball got nuts, stole a case of beer behind CBGB's, cut his knees, had a fight, got goat arrested.
Oh, that was the night. That was the night.
That's that moment right there, pal.
I think Goat got arrested, but Aaron didn't.
No, Aaron got you arrested for sure because you wouldn't leave with me. You wanted to take care of him. I was like, fuck him, he's out of his mind.
Yeah. And Lou,
Is this
Sub-Zero, Lou DeBella.
We were all obviously that's it. That's going downstairs to the bathroom at CBGB's.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And Ben, that's when Ben was in the band too. Benny Schmertz.
Benny Schmertz.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are doing it right here, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a great show. And then it was
Yeah.
just all downhill.
I don't even think that was a show, dude. I think we're just taking pictures. I don't. Yeah, what else is new?
Benny Schwartz?
Benny Schmertz.
Schmertz.
Ben Shapiro. He
Ben
played with
Shapiro.
Marky Ramone
Ah.
before us.
He was. Let me tell you something. He's the guy that recorded the Party's Over record.
Uh-huh.
Very talented guitar player.
and a
Very talented
great
guitar player.
writer. I didn't write all that shit.
Great.
He's the one who influenced all that.
Great
Yep.
writer. Him and Aaron and me and Jimmy. That was another, under the radar great lineup. We had a great time. Pokey was in that lineup before me.
Pokey.
Right? Pokey was in Murphy's Law.
Smokey, more like Smokey. You don't smoke anymore.
I flew out to play. Remember when Pokey broke his hand on somebody's
Oh my
face?
God, do I? That's another
AJ.
legendary one.
Vello and Pokey were in Murphy's Law. I don't know if anybody knows. I don't know how long it went on for,
Leelaw.
but
Just long enough.
and somebody was fucking with AJ, and Pokey fucking jumped over a thing and punched somebody and broke his hand. And the
We
next
were with
thing you
Terry Hart. I don't know why I'm yelling. Terry Hart, the dirt bike guy,
Oh,
and
yeah. Right.
and I forget who we were playing with. I forget. It was
Poison
some
Idea?
Fat guy. What was it? Poison Idea. That's right.
Fat guy.
And they were like, his crew was fucking with AJ, and Pokey punched one of the guys in the worst spot, which is the flat of the head. It's like the hardest spot of your body next to your femur, which Go probably knows now. And Pokey shattered his hand. And we were playing with the Long Beach Dub All-Stars in San Francisco. So the crazy story. So now Pokey shatters his hand, and now we don't get to play. So the guys started to fight with Pokey, and AJ aren't guys to start trouble. So I make the guy pay us, and we go back to the hotel, and now this fucking hippie guy with his friend shows up with a gun, and we're with Kerry Hart and his whole dirt bike crew, and the guy's got the gun in my face, and I'm like, all right, there's like 10 of us in the room, and you got like 6 bullets, so you're gonna shoot me, and they're gonna kill you. And right when I'm shit my pants telling him this, one of Kerry Hart's road crew guys punches this dude with the gun in the face, and the gun goes flying, and then we beat the shit out of them, and they run. I run waiting for them to run to get the gun. They run away, disappear, and we immediately had to change hotels and fly goating.
The good old days.
Another boring night on the road.
When sex was dirty and the air was clean.
Now, Goat, from time to time, you still sit in with Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah, anytime you need to.
Anytime.
Whenever someone explodes in the band, Goat's
Goat's the first call.
Well,
hey, man,
it's an easy call because he's my great friend and he's great to play with. That last
and I don't take up a lot of space.
Me, Larry, he fits in his own drum case. You just got to make sure the holes are blocked so he can breathe. Me, Larry, Goat, and Felipe. That was such a great trip. It was great. No stress.
So speaking of madness, that kind of segues into this other band you played in, which would be this crew, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, the Crown of Thorns first, and then that bled into, right? This is Scarhead.
This
right?
is
Yes.
okay. The lines are blurred a little bit. I know.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm gonna
Boston
go. I
Mike.
love you guys. You carry on with all the 500 bands you played in. Fucking Goat. I love you.
Be good, Jimmy. I love you too.
Love you, Drew. Love you guys.
Thanks for doing this.
Hey Jimmy, thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you soon. And
We need to do another Jimmy episode. Talk shit. Love you guys.
We'll do it, man. We'll
Take
talk
care.
to
Love you guys.
Jimmy.
Take
Love
care,
you.
Jim. Thank you.
Peace. How was that for a surprise?
Hell of a guy. Woo.
All right.
He's like flooded me with memories, man. Always good to see Jimmy.
Do you like how bam? Like, let's just ask this guy. That was great.
I saw you laughing before. I was like, I'm not saying anything very funny, and then you were just kind of.
Yeah.
But Jim
I
Murphy's
told
Law,
you we were going to have fun today, everybody. So here we go. This is the infamous Scarhead. I recognize, of course, you, Boston Mike, Mitz standing up, Lou from Sub-Zero, Aaron Collins sitting there on the bench.
Yes,
and
sir.
is that Tony up on the right?
Little Tony.
I got them all.
You got them all, and that's when Lou was sick.
Yeah, he was really sick, right?
He really powered through it and did so many things. Feeling like he was dying. Thank God.
So Lou was like second. Scarhead always. Well, this is three vocalists, right?
Yeah.
If you want to call it that, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm a little confused, right? Because Lou was the second vocalist, right? Scarhead's, Scarhead was something that Ezek had, and Crown of Thorns, Ezek had already had. Crown of Thorns record was done. Scarhead had done the EP. Mm-hmm. After I left Murphy's Law, I joined Crown of Thorns, and we did some really cool stuff with a little bit of a different lineup, and then we changed it. Then the Scarhead talk started to come in. And the guy that did the original second vocals, he wasn't going to do the touring, so Isaac brought in Lou. He wanted to have two drummers. Little Tony was going to play. See, that's what confuses me when I see that picture. Wow, I can't believe I haven't looked at that picture in a long time.
That's
if Aaron was in the band,
being on tour. Talk about being on tour. Is that Aaron on the left, you in the middle, and E?
And Ajax, can't forget Ajax, with his paw on my face.
Oh, right.
That's how we lived. We lived like animals, and
we were.
That was like a conversion van, that we toured with. I mean, if I tell you that we would get an 8-passenger van, fill it with 8 people, with all our clothes, our equipment, and merchandise in the fucking van, traveling for like a month, that's how we would do it back then. It was pretty. That's
wild.
It was pretty wild, but those a lot of fun touring, man. We were very young, and touring in those days was like there was no personal devices. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had the guy driving. He played the music. He could pick whatever music you were going to listen to. He could smoke cigarettes.
What is this that you're in there? Is that a van?
Yeah, that's a van. And then you would the seats would flatten out into a bed, and then you'd have 3 guys lying over here, 1 guy in the back. That was actually the nice van. When we first started with Crown of Thorns, it was when we were doing what I mentioned, 8 people, 8 passenger van, equipment, merch, 9-hour drives, just sitting like this.
Here, I got another one here. Boom.
I can see. That's in Japan. That's when we already had Lou was, taking care of himself. Mike was the second vocalist, you know, and of course my boy, you know, and
Yeah.
Isaac and Mitz and little Tony and me. We went to Japan a couple of times. They love that shit out there, you know. They love that hardcore, you know, New York, you know.
Yeah.
And we had good shows.
I like Boston Mike, man.
He was a prince of a guy, big guy, man. Was
God
a
rest
prince of
his
a guy.
soul.
What a
I have a
shame
shot of
to
me
see
and
him
Boston
go.
Mike somewhere.
So many things in my life, I would be like, oh man, I wish Mike would be here to see this, man.
You know, it's sad when we look back. Some of our friends passed away so young, man. You know, it's like
Too young.
fuck. Here's a shot of me and Boston Mike. Boom.
Wow, look at you. God damn. And look at him.
Well, yeah. This has got to be. This is probably 93, 94. You know. Yeah, Mike was a good dude.
A good dude. Great to nothing but laughs, you know, laughing and joking around and being silly and great dancer.
Hard
you know,
dancer,
really cool
right?
guy, man. Introduced us to some really cool people. You know, he's from Brockton.
Yeah.
Cool people that we met from Brockton from him and that scene. But that was a cool part of learning to be on the road. You know, Scarhead originally was supposed to have 2 drummers. That's right.
What are you guys, the friggin' Allman Brothers band or the
Oh,
Grateful
man, let me
Dead?
tell you something.
2 drummers. Fucking
when
talking about 2 drummers.
When the concept was brought up for touring, and it was like, okay, Crown Thorns is going pretty good. Isaac was like, yo, you know, I want to do Scarhead. I want you to do it. You mean Isaac? We were very close at the time. I want you to play drums. Saab was in the band. Saab was going to be in the band. I'm going to forget some people because there's going to be so many people in the band. Little Tony was going to be the second drummer. And believe me, I fought it the whole way, man. I was like, 2 drummers? How are you going to mic 2 drums? I mean, where are we playing?
And what, you're going to carry around 2 drum sets?
2 drum sets and all that
Oh,
shit. But
that's
you know what?
crazy.
Listen, guys.
Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Shouting out Aaron Collins. There he is.
Where is he?
Yep. There
there he goes. I'm like looking for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron Collins. There he is. Did you see
People
that
that
picture,
landed-
Aaron? Yep.
People that landed on the East Coast didn't get to California because people told them that they couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? They were just like,
Right.
fuck it. I just want to do it. So, you know, he had that idea. It would have been a cool idea, but, you know, logistically, it wouldn't have worked. And then, you know, it whittled down, reality hit, you know, and then we had the lineup. But not for anything, I just want to mention that the first Crown of Thorns tour that I did, I just want to mention the lineup was me, E, Nikki X,
Oh, wow.
and Matty Boy on bass. Rap
Wasn't that
Bones was
what-
there.
Wasn't it?
Rap Bones
Was it? Was
Rap
that
Bones
the?
was there as a security.
Where's Rat Bones? Maybe let's. Where are you, Rat? Let's bring Rat on and hear what he has to say about it. Yeah, isn't that one of those like infamous burn it the fuck down tours?
Absolutely. That was
Hey, Rat.
disgusting. It's disgusting.
Is that right?
What
up? I was getting all my shit, my tour case from '96 out from the tour. I still got
Look at
it.
that.
That's my
Wow.
tour case from '96. I
Setback.
was the merch guy.
Wow.
Look at the front of that thing.
Oh, that what
Hold
you were
on,
doing?
let's-
You were the merch guy? Oh shit, Ernie Cortez,
Yeah.
Powerhouse. Ernie Powerhouse.
Imagine that. Rat Bones was your merch guy.
But
Woo.
look at that, bro. Look at the back. It's got the old stickers on it, bro.
Yeah.
Cro-Mags.
You know,
That ball.
What's that
Rapon's a
setback?
natural merch guy. He was like a natural
no,
merch
say
guy.
it.
Guys
Rat
like-
Bones-
I got
Rat
my.
Bones is-
I still got my tour jacket sewed on a Dickies shirt, man. Like,
oh shit.
you know, that's it, man. Those were some great times. Like, they were crazy, but we had a lot of fun. We saw the country, and you know, it was fun. We had a lot of fun.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't even know. That's
That's
Oh,
Rat
man,
in the
Russ.
back, right?
Rat Bones in the back.
Yes.
Todd
Raven,
and Russ Will.
Is this Murphy's Law?
Ziegler.
You guys look soaking wet. Is this Murphy's
Probably
Law?
right after his show.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? We could talk about all the crazy stuff like that we did doing dirt or whatever, but the funniest, one of the best moments on that tour was on the road, and it was really early in the morning, and we pulled over, and there was all those caribou walking down the road. Man, that was like it's just like you're out in the middle of nowhere and you never forget touring like that. Bro. That was great, man.
Yeah. We saw parts of the country, you know, right? Never been seeing places like Seattle, Washington and Oregon. It's like a different world. Going through Utah.
It's a beautiful part of the country, man. It's a beautiful part of the country. We're actually going out there to play in October. We're doing Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful part of the country.
It's like you're not even, you know, it's like prehistoric, you know. It's like it hasn't
changed. Yo, come on now. We got to shout out
Darren.
Come on now.
That's the man, bro. Let me tell you.
There you go. But all the drummers are stopping by to give you love, Goaty.
Yeah. He's up there, bro. He's up there, man.
What's up, Darren?
This show's got me sitting here thinking, man, there is amazing drummers, just like, you know, Bonham, Bill Ward,
the
guy from the Police, like
Stuart Copeland.
There's so many. There's just so many, and it's like you guys are in the back and don't get the love, but you move the crowd harder than anybody. I love you.
Yes and no. A lot of drummers get a lot of love.
I'll tell you what I love about this show most of all is I get to see my friends that I love from the moment I met you. I loved you. I knew you were my brother. But now to like get your backstory and see like how you're really put together is like I enjoy watching the show myself as much as I enjoy being a part of it.
Thank you, Rap Bones.
Well, thanks, Rat.
The same way. You know what? Let me tell you a funny thing. Rap Bones, we used to drive and sing songs and put Rap Bones' name into every song. And just, I mean, if you could think about like 8 hours of driving, never ever having a second where like somebody wasn't thinking like,
wasn't singing the Rap Bones line.
I think I'm Rap Bones now, you know, or whatever stupid things just to fit his name in there. And that's how we kept, you know, there were no iPhones, you know, there was just us talking.
I can relate.
If you didn't get in the conversation, you was ass out, you know.
We used to do that. We used to do something similar when I was out with Biohazard. We had games like that for hours when we'd be sitting in the van together. Hours, like, you know.
And that's why that bond is tight, you know. You know, it's tight.
Absolutely. We used to play a game. We used to play a game in the Biohazard touring days, if I'm remembering correctly, where you would name a band, like let's say Misfits, and the last letter of the Misfits is S, and then the next guy would have to name a band starting with S.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
And it would just go around and around and around and around, you know.
That's kept, you know, that was fun.
Oh, come on now. It's that kind of a party. What's up,
Oh, shit, G-Man.
How you feeling, Gary? I hope you're well, man.
Well, too, bro.
Our prayers go out to you, G-Man. We love you, man.
Yeah, we heard that Gary had a little bump in the road, but
my man went into cardiac arrest, bro.
But he stuck it. He played the next show. Hard.
Real G. Man. Real G, bro.
Let me tell you something. You know, he could play anything. And we know that, right? Everybody knows that. He can play fucking anything, man.
Yep. Well, Gary's back. From what I understand, Gary, you're back in your home in Hamburg, Germany, and you're back doing the Tina Turner review out on the Reeperbahn. So welcome home, Gary, man. And glad you're doing okay.
G-Man, thank you, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Doing much better. Rat, anybody you want to shout out? I got to take a break.
You know what? Let me do a quick. It's not a record of the day, but let me shout out my boys in Detroit that just sent me this their new record. If you're into brutal hardcore like Cold as Life, Hate Incorporated, Dogs of War, they've been around for a long time. This is their new joint. Pretty decent. It's the heaviest shit you heard. Straight up hardcore from Detroit, who always deliver. And my man B sent me the Hate Incorporated, also from Detroit. Artwork by Daryl Maniac, R.I.P. I want to say R.I.P. and condolences to all my friends and family and the DMS crew. Our boy Panic from the West Coast passed also this week. So, rest in peace. We ain't getting any younger, man. You gotta fly straight these days, Yeah,
tomorrow's not promised.
That's right, man.
Not promised tomorrow.
It's good seeing you guys. And my favorite version of all those songs on the road was Rap Bones, Don't Be a Hero.
All right, Rat.
I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
Can I just say, what a weekend too? Starting with like just started going. We are so blessed in New York. We got it so good here. I saw Murphy's Law on a boat. I saw Leeway. The best 2 sounding shows. Everyone's great. Hardcore ain't always supposed to sound great. But so far at Bowery Electric, Ludacris sounded phenomenal. Leeway, the drummer, those 2 guitars, Eddie, given especially through what he's going through, still has the voice.
There was that emotional moment, right? When
I brought it. I pushed the kids around because now when I dance, there's young kids. I don't really gonna be that guy, but I let them know what the real shit is supposed to be like, man. It was fun. Man. I had a moment. So
Rat Bones was up there with his shirt off. He was doing the rap. He was like
looking good.
Rat Bones shook it off for old time's sake.
I knew the point downs, man. I was rocking it.
Yeah, it was good. All right, Rat. We'll see you later.
Right, guys. Peace out.
Love you, Rat Bones. Love you, Rat Bones.
Rat Bones! Rat Bones! Rat Bones! Rat Bones! Rat Bones! Rat Bones!
That guy's been a fly on the wall for a lot of things, bro.
Yeah, listen, Rat Bones is an enigma, man. You know, he's an interesting character, and he is part of the fabric of, you know, New York hardcore.
And let me tell you something. Looks great, man. You know, there was a time, you know, where it was rough. You know, what's up, Eddie? I saw him too. I saw him last week. Eddie Medina from Powerhouse.
Mike LaRoche says Drew and Goat look like they're in their early 30s.
53. I don't feel a day over 50 though.
I got a bunch of years on you, bro.
For real?
Yeah, I'm older than you.
Yeah, but a bunch.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about it on the air.
All right. You know.
Hey,
good,
wow.
Man. You know, I'm trying my best, bro.
What's up, Eddie? You know, Eddie's coming up on the show, man. You know, I haven't announced this show, but hold on. Let me dig this up. Hold on. Why not take this? Why not take this moment to announce a show? It's a ways off in the future, but on Sunday, October 23rd, by popular demand, Chris and Eddie from Powerhouse are on the show. Come on now.
Yeah, represent the West Coast.
Representing West Coast. Pitchfork in the house. That is Sunday, October 23rd. Yep, that's right, Gina. And yep, everybody's stoked on that one. Yep.
The Powerhouse guys, we go way back with the Powerhouse guys, man. Yeah. You know, Eddie, Chris, Ernie, you know, that was our home in Oakland on the West Coast. You know, they treated us like family.
Eddie says he can't wait. Yeah, it'll be great, Eddie. We'll have some fun with it. Hey, Goaty, let me do a sponsor shout out. Let me take care of some of that. Give me a couple minutes, and we'll come back with Women of the Pit Spotlight, and we'll talk about this interesting, new and exciting band that they've come across. So we'll see you in a bit, okay?
You got it, brother.
Well, there you go. You know what this is. You know why we're here. It is the one, the only, often imitated, never duplicated, New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We are sponsored by blah, 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 and The Organic Grill. It's a vegan restaurant now located in the West Village of New York City at 133 3rd Avenue, right next to the Blue Note. Featured in New York Magazine, the New York Times, and Veg News. The dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Goddamn Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on the menu could be made gluten-free for all you gluten-free motherfuckers. This year, they're celebrating their 23rd anniversary, and they are all about having a great time while enjoying amazing, clean food. They have now fully reopened for business and look forward to seeing you. Get in touch with them. Order some great food at www.organicgrill.com. Come on now, the Texas Silver Rush, led by Joe Rumini, Vinny Stigma's cousin. They're a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. Goddamn electric. They specialize in work with musicians in all genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rolle, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. Information on online sales will be taken at their Facebook and Instagram page, and of course, www.texassilverrush.com. What? Everybody else okay? Go. Can you get yours? All right, we'll get to questions for Goat. Hold on a second. I want to mention all you people out there. First, I want to thank everyone that supports the show via Patreon. My latest patrons, D, Joe Ackerman, Rick Dennis. Please support the show if you can, man. You know, things are changing in the world out there. The show needs your support. The show's not going anywhere, but the show needs your support. Join Patreon. If you are a patron on Patreon, you get the New York Hardcore Chronicles Volume 1, 1980, 1989 book for free. If you're a patron, you can also get an incendiary device patch. That might have to happen. Get it, whatever. Listen, support the show. We need your support. There's also a PayPal address there if you want to make a donation. There's also a super chat feature here when it comes question time. If you want to throw a couple of bucks into a super chat, it comes through in color. I can't miss it. And come right to the front of the line. Please support the show. I know the world is changing, but the show needs support, man. A lot of work goes into the show. Also, if you're watching the show on rerun, there is a subscribe button right there. Please subscribe to the show. And if you have a communication device, I know in a lot of ways I'm preaching to converted here, but it is Instagram at Stone Films NYC. Pick up your phone right now, please. Follow me and the show on Instagram. I know it is evil. I know it is an incendiary device, but we try to use it to our advantage. Want to mention? What do I want to mention? How about, I don't want to get into all the shows. How about the next Bowery Electric show, which is September 11th? It's free. It's for me. Bowery Electric, September 11th, with Winterwolf. Oh, DJ the Governor, a.k.a. Frankie Too Far. Winterwolf, Orlando Furioso, Murderers Row, featuring the legend Bob Riley from Troy, New York. Crazy Eddie, who are bringing it these days, and old school Philly legends Y-Die. That is happening at the Bowery Electric on September 11th. And I also want to mention that the Tompkins Square Park show that we are doing. Something a little bit different here. Don't be scared. Come on out to the park on Sunday, September 24th in our beloved Tompkins Square Park. Butterbrain, speaking of Aaron Collins, Incendiary Device. It's going to jump off tonight. Eugene Hutz, Rebelmatic. Eugene Hutz of Gorgo Bordello coming down to do a hardcore acoustic set. The mighty Rebelmatic, and come on, Jimmy Hazel, 24/7 Spies will be there as well. That is Saturday, September 24th in our beloved Tompkins Square Park. Let's clear the deck. I think I'm covering everything. If I'm not, we'll get it the next go round. Let me clear the deck. Hold on. Yada-dee-da-da-da. Everything okay in the chat room? Drew added the patch to the baseball. Yeah, you know what? I can't go over Rezek's hat, but this is not a bad idea. I'll go to the dollar store and get one of those, get a couple of those baseball caps. Yo, Kenny Clark, what's happening, brother? Anthony Rivera, where did I get this hat? This is an Ezak hat. This is from Danny Diablo from his merch line. I think they can be purchased at Generation Records on their site if you want one. Generation Records. So there you go. The hat I'm wearing. What's going on here? It's a New York hardcore hat. Danny Diablo from the Danny Diablo merch line. You can pick it up at Generation Records. That said, let's clear the deck. Let's bring on, it is that time for the Women of the Pit Spotlight. And let's bring on our friends Lori Dawn and Gina. Hi.
Hey. Hello, hello.
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 Hey everyone,
What's going
we are
on?
fully recovered from the weekend. Our Women of the Pit tour
What'd you guys do? I saw you guys up in Albany, right?
up in Albany, then we were in Brooklyn. So seeing him.
What was in
Brooklyn
Brooklyn?
was La Armada, Zeta, Ma'afa, Ache, and Fire is Murder. And every one of those bands was
Hard.
on fire. Yeah.
It's a hard
Yo,
day.
Eddie, what's up?
Yep.
That was a really sick show. So Albany Friday, Brooklyn Saturday, and then all day on the Bowery Sunday.
It was a great, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really love having you guys involved in these shows on the Bowery because it's great when I have to do everything by myself. And it also helps to have a couple more sets of eyes to tell me, this girl's puking in front of the bar or some kid is crowd killing and he's hurting people.
Somebody's fighting. Yeah. We love it. We love it.
Well, we love being involved. We love being a part of the scene, and we love that everybody else seems to have a good time too. So,
yeah,
thanks for having us be a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're going to do something for the holidays together.
Yeah.
Holiday
line
show.
up the next one.
I'll tell you. What's the just heads up? We don't have the flyer. We're sorting out, but I think what is it? December
18th. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Sunday, December 18th. Save the date.
We got a lot of good surprises.
Hey, Eddie, we'd love for you to play the Bowery. Just reach out to me and we'll figure it out.
Absolutely.
The thing is, Eddie, we do, it's one show a month. So it sort of has to fit, and make it work. But boy, we would sure love to have you.
Yes, Eddie, get Chris out here. Do it.
Yeah. Hey, Goat, you out there? Yeah, December 18th. That's the holiday show. And then November's Rampage Fest. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have another show up on November 6th too that we just got the lineup finalized. So we'll be making an announcement about that soon too.
Where's that happening? Or
that's in Kearney. No, we can say it's in Kearney, New Jersey. It is a benefit show to benefit a women's shelter in Jersey. So
nice.
I can't officially announce it yet, but you won't want to miss this one.
Yes, challenges.
Cool. Let's bring on our guest today, Mr. Eric Arce.
Hey, girls.
Hi, Goat.
Hello.
So it's been a great show so far.
Thank you, Gina.
Really cool.
Sometimes we do shows with an old friend, and it's just great. It's just
I feel the love, Drew. Thank you.
I don't have to stress it at all, bro.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but having like the old, everybody's popping in, like Jimmy Williams is out there and all the other guys like jumping in. I saw Walters in the chat room, like just jumping in and saying, "Hey, it's nice like just hanging with old friends."
So
we don't get to see each other enough.
Come along with us on the ride, Goat. We're going to do a segment here. Lori, Gina, the band. Tell us about what's going on here.
Okay, so today we are going to Argentina with a band called Punición, and they formed during the pandemic. Just a couple of friends who started up a band. They are a really great, energetic metalcore band, and that is Florencia, who is a singer, dancer, and she's very, very athletic on stage, which is really fun to watch. They have an EP on Bandcamp, and they have a new video that I gave you. That's the video. Can you play that?
Can you play the video?
Another shot of her airborne.
Yeah, look at her go.
Yeah, look at her flying around, man.
It's incredible.
Can you play the video or no?
I could play a little bit of it. Yo, you guys come up with these hard ass bands with these women singers, man. It's just like, holy shit.
So Punición is punishment, right? That's punishment.
Right.
Not to be confused with the other punishment.
Now they're from, you said Argentina?
Yeah, and what's interesting about Argentina is that they've obviously had a punk scene, dating back to the 70s, just like just like us, but unlike us, they hadn't had the means to document it or even record. So like these videos that you're seeing now, that's like a new resurgence that they're trying to document all of their music, because the music was always there, the scene was always there, but they didn't have even, demo tapes back then or anything. They just didn't have the means to record it. So it's important for them now to get that.
Sure.
Heard.
Go. Any? You've been to Argentina a couple of times, right?
Yeah, I was going to just mention Argentina's, like I said in the other show, is one of my favorite places. They really have their shit together out there. They know their music.
Yeah.
They're very vocal about it. It's a really great place to go to. Great.
You've been down there with the Misfits?
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let me just say, great food.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I went to Argentina. Not to pull the Biohazard card again, but I went down a legendary trip in '93 with Biohazard. They played with Bad Religion in an arena, bro.
Wow.
And it was one of the fondest. You could just see the smile on my face. We had it was such an incredible, exciting, fun trip. And I've told this story before on the show. We came off the airplane at the airport, and this big cheer went up, and we were looking behind us like, what? Like who was on the plane?
And it was for you.
Like 150 kids were at the airport to greet Biohazard when they showed up. And I did a couple songs with this band, Minora Activa, and we did it was great. It was.
Well, I just
They know
want to
their
say
music very well.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just want to say, Drew, that this band actually found us.
Is that right?
So they've been supporters for us since, the beginning, and they reached out to us, and they were always letting us know what they were up to. So, we wanted to throw them a little love and support them.
Yeah.
Well, it sounded great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were one of our first supporters.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They've got great sounds.
Do you guys know that about this show coming up, this Cath and Rage cancer benefit that we're doing? It's on. It's Saturday,
September 17th. So that's the same day as the photo show, Stephen, Tim, and Rich's photo show. So that's another full pack day. So it's C Squad in the afternoon, and then this show.
Right, and it's outdoors at Pugs in the back there. Whole bunch of bands, including, I won't say it. And then also The Last Stand, Enrage, Cropsy. This is like a really stacked bill, man. So this is going to be a really
for a great cause too. For a great cause.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, women of the pit. And anybody you want to shout out, Gina?
I want to shout out everyone that came out to our show on Sunday. All of the people that are supporting women in music and that are vocal about supporting women in music. It's a really important time right now. So thanks to everybody that came out. It was a great day, and it really means a lot to us.
Absolutely. Lori?
The same thing. I wanted to shout out everybody who supports us, and also everybody who's bought our new shirt so far. So this is this design here.
Yeah, it's a great shirt. It's a great shirt.
Thank you. So we got our new design, and I'm like too short for this shot here. But that's about it. Just a big thank you to everybody who's involved with us. So
cool. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it without him. And Car Bomb Parade, shout out Women of the Pit. Thank you.
Love them. They were killer on Sunday. Killer.
What's the phrase I'm looking for? They ruled the day.
They ruled the day. Yeah, and that guy Ivan that played bass with them was like
great.
He's always been in the band.
He was great.
Perfect fit.
He was great.
All right. Thanks for having us.
See you guys later. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Well, there you go.
Cool.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, our guest today is Eric Goat Arce. You know what? I think we're gonna kind of skipping around a little bit, but I want to get to the Misfits stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know that was such a big a big part of your career. And I love this picture that you sent me, man. It's a great shot, man. Great
Ooh,
shot.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
tough,
it's
right?
a really good shot. I know that
Lauren,
this was
a woman named Lauren Cohen took that picture from Texas. A great photographer, great good friend.
I know that, shout out Lauren Cohen. I know this was a little bit into your tenure with the band, but let's talk about your run with the Misfits. You are the longest, speaking of tenure, you're the longest tenured Misfits drummer.
Nah, really?
You know that? Yeah.
No.
No one has played drums in the Misfits longer for more time than you have.
All right. I mean, I know they've had a couple of
You didn't know
drummers.
that? I doing my
No, I would
homework.
have never even thought that.
Who played Misfits drummers have always, been pretty cyclical. You have
I know.
at this. Yeah.
How about Robo playing and then coming back? No, still
No,
me?
still. When Robo originally played, it was for not even a year.
You're right. He
You
just did the
played.
record.
You were in the Misfits for a chunk of change, a chunk of time, man.
Well, I feel very happy about that. It was a great band to play in, man. I mean, the guy really took care of us. We had a great chemistry in the band. See when I say the guy, Jerry. I'll refer to him as Mo sometimes. It just makes it a little bit easier. But Mo was a great guy to work with and for.
So tell us, how did they come into your orbit? How did you end up in the band?
I played opening for the Misfits in a couple of bands. With Scarhead we opened, Murphy's Law we opened. The Misfits, I don't know if you remember, they would always tour with Guar.
Right.
Or they would do a lot of shows with Guar. And so, we were there. I got to know them a little bit, but it was a tour that started for us in Florida. They were already on tour for a little while. And, it was with Michael and Chud, and Doyle and Jerry. We were meeting them. Their tour had already started. There you go. Their tour already started, and we were meeting them in Florida. I think our first or second show with them was in Orlando at the House of Blues in Orlando.
Yeah, it's a great room.
Great room. I didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on, but there was some rough waters going on between them in the band. So we play our first show. I'm having a great time. Sal was in the band. Sean Kilkenny, rest in peace, was in the band. And I believe Ricky Bacchus was in the band, just to give you the idea of who was in the band at the time. Getting ready to have a great tour with them. It was going to be for like a month, ready to party, ready to play shows. And I'm doing something, and I hear I didn't see this firsthand, but I hear yo, Michael Graves and Chud just walked off stage in the middle of the set.
In the middle of the set.
In the middle of the set, Michael Graves. I didn't see it. I was in the whatever I was doing. And Michael Graves just put down the microphone, walks off stage. They're still playing 3-piece. Chud stops playing drums. He walks off the stage. And then Doyle goes off to get them. And this is Jerry on stage. They don't fucking stop playing, Jerry is still playing, he's still playing the song, looking back, being like, what the fuck's going on? And, after the show, they came up to me, it was weird. Obviously, it was in front of 2,500 people, they come up to me. Jerry comes up to me and he goes, listen, I need you to fill in, I need you to play 2 shows with us. And, this guy doesn't stop, his brain keeps working. I need you to play 2 shows with us. We're going to get another drummer to come in. He's gonna get ready. We're gonna break off from the tour. We're gonna do something in LA. He's gonna meet us in LA, and then he's gonna come join the tour, and he'll do the rest of the tour. So can you do 2 shows with us? And I was like, all right, we'll do any songs that you want to play.
Did you know the stuff?
I knew I knew the hits. But the hits, right? But
Yeah.
I never sat down and tried to learn them. And the Michael Graves era stuff, the 90s stuff, that stuff is, those are songs. They have, not that the old stuff wasn't songs, but they were a little bit more elaborate, So
shouting out Dave Scott from Adrenaline OD, who
Oh,
actually
shit.
lives in the Orlando area, says I was backstage at that Misfits show, very uncomfortable.
You could imagine the whole band walked off stage,
Oof,
So
man.
they were like, listen, just learn as much as you can for tomorrow. And I played the next show.
For tomorrow.
Interesting.
For tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, we
Holy
ain't
shit.
stopping. We ain't stopping. So I do the show. Joey Image was there, and he played a couple of songs. He was in good shape, at the time.
Wow.
And
Joey Image.
He was
Joey
living in Florida.
Image was where?
And he was in Florida. This was in Florida. Like the
Right.
next show was like Fort Lauderdale or something like that.
Right. Okay.
So he was there. He came out. They gave him a call. Hey, come out. Play a couple songs. We're gonna get this other guy. And I'll tell you, Drew, I'm out there and I'm playing Chud's kit. And I know you're familiar with it. It's like Monster Town. They're using
Monster
bass drums as toms.
Yeah. Right.
Very uncomfortable set to play. Arrive like this. And,
Sure.
And I got a guy. Listen, through the Misfits, I met some tremendous people. This guy King Tut. He was just like always there. Their manager guy. He did a lot of things with them. This guy is next to me while I'm playing drums with a flashlight, saying, "Verse, okay. Second verse, okay. The end is coming." You know what I'm saying? Like as we're playing the songs, right there with me. And it went really good. It went really well. It was rough, but it was good. Played another set with them the next day. Actually, that Jimmy got into a fight with. Right, don't forget, I'm still playing with Murphy's Law.
So you're doing you're doing the whole opening set in Murphy's Law, and then you're sitting in with the Fits.
Yeah.
Oof.
Not too much pressure. But Jimmy gets into an argument.
Of course, I'm assuming, of course, at this point when you're sitting in with the Misfits, you're not wearing any makeup or anything at this point. You're literally just sitting in. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just literally sitting in.
Yeah.
And I played with them for considerable time after. It wasn't until I officially joined the band that I started wearing makeup and stuff like that. But I would do a bunch of shows with them. That's in Japan. The last time I was there. Let's see. I got. So I did the show. Jimmy pulled me off stage because he broke a mic. Their brother Kenny was their tour manager. They had two tour managers.
Rocky.
Kenny was like Rocky. Yeah, right.
Rocky.
Right. So
I've known these guys forever. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So he was like, yeah, Jimmy, you got to pay $400. You broke the 58. Jimmy's like, yo, fuck you. I'm not paying for it. You're using my drum. You're using my drummer. Go get off the stage. You're not playing. If they're gonna charge me, you ain't playing drums for me tonight. I'm on stage. I'm like, yo, Jimmy, I'm so nervous, man. Could you just please squash the beat with them? This is on stage. People are standing there.
Yeah.
Get through the show. We get through the set. I play the set. Then they go. Now I don't know. A lot of people know this, but the other drummer that they were bringing in was Kenny from Candiria.
Right.
I forgot Kenny's last name. I'm sorry. Forgive me. But Kenny from Candiria. That's what I always called him.
Mm-hmm.
Who's obviously like the fucking man, And they loved him. He met them out in LA. He did the show. And
Kenny, of course, is an incredibly technically proficient drummer. It's like
probably
it's
the most.
It's like they got Neil Peart Jr. It's like what?
Yeah. So that goes without saying that the guy killed it.
Yeah.
And and then he came back onto the tour. I didn't know who it was. Then I was like, holy shit, yo, Kenny, what the fuck? What are you doing here? He's like, yeah, I'm playing for these guys. Like, oh wow. So I see them play. They play a great show. The first show back was in New Orleans, where I have the poster for still. And he did the makeup thing. They loved him. His Misfit name was maybe somebody out there couldn't remember what it was.
Wow, I didn't know he had a Misfits name or wore makeup.
Yeah, for one show.
Wow.
It was Halloween. New Orleans, big show. They sounded fucking amazing. And it was very helpful to me because I saw like a guy interpret the songs like heavy, Right. And it was kind of eye-opening for me to see like, oh wow, like you're not playing it like the record or whatever. So and then he played a couple shows and I was like, well, I guess good for him, And then after a couple shows, I don't know what happened. I'm assuming it's nothing technical or musical that was an issue, but maybe he was just like, hey man, I can't do the rest of the tour or whatever.
Right.
And then they said, go, what we need you to do, if you think you can handle it, is learn the set, like learn the whole set. And
while on the road on that same tour, or did you
on
go
the same
home?
tour? So you could ask Jimmy, my dear brother, rest in peace, Sean Kilkenny, right next to me. Drew, if I didn't for the next, every second I had headphones in, making notes, Misfits songs, getting the set list. And I said, listen, I'll do it.
And as we all know, the Misfits set list is like the fucking is
like
the
35
length
songs
of the fucking Dead Sea Scrolls. It's like what you tell me, 35 songs, 40 songs?
At least, yeah, like at least 35 songs. Okay. And people will say, just like with the Ramones, like we said in the beginning about Ty Ramone, oh, but Misfits songs are easy, they're this, they're that. It's like, there ain't nothing fucking easy about songs that are very similar, but they're different, They have subtleties to them. And people have made that mistake, maybe if you don't play drums, you don't think about that type of thing.
Right.
But you want them to be played right,
Sure.
So it was a big undertaking. So I studied the stuff, and when they approached me about it, like, can you do it? Do you think you can handle it? And I was like, listen, give me a shot. Let me try this. And you know what? It ended up being a glorious tour. Fucking amazing.
And then eventually you settled in and you got some makeup, and then even eventually, I mean, this is early on in the game, right? Because this still looks like, is this your drum set?
I'm probably playing. This is probably in South America or something. But I would use,
I see. Right. You can't bring all that shit with you to South America.
No, I had a kit. I was endorsed by a company. They spawned the white kit that was in the other picture. That was a custom-made kit. Spawn drums are excellent company. They custom-made that kit for me. It was, it had LEDs inside of it. It changes colors. It was very impressive. They built another one for me, and we had that in Europe. Like I had a kit in Europe that I would use. I had a kit in the United States, and then everywhere else I would just, rent a shitty kit, or not a shitty kit, but another kit. But that lineup, I did the tour. It ended. Everybody was happy. Who sang on that? There was a couple things on that tour.
But can I guess? Can I take a guess? Oh, you just said it, right?
I just blew it.
Yeah, Zoli sang, right? Because once Graves was out, Zoli was in for a minute. That was I think that was the second time Graves was out, because I saw them in Europe with Mike Hideous singing.
Mike Hideous, who was one cool looking dude, man. People didn't like him. I liked him. He's a freaky dude. Freaky dude. That was a weird time. There's a documentary about that.
Is there?
You ever see that? There's a weird documentary that maybe I'm tripping. Maybe there isn't, but I could have sworn I've seen something.
Is this is the white kit you're talking about?
Yeah. So that kit is like a translucent, like, it has LEDs in it. You could do a very impressive things with it. And it was that's my kit. I in essence I play like a jazz kit, like one mounted tom and two floor toms. And that is the same thing, just with two bass drums. Like they wanted me to play a big kit, and I was like, I just don't play a big kit. Maybe if I add two bass drums and it could still be my setup.
Don't make me do it, please. Let me play. Let me play what I'm comfortable in, right?
I mean, when I started doing the tour, when they were like, hey, can you do the songs, do the whole thing, I was like, listen, I have to play my kit. I can't play the big kit.
Right.
So, they had a big, a big thing in front of the drum riser, and my little kit was right behind it. You couldn't even see the kit. You could see my head poking out of the back of it, but you couldn't see the kit. And, they triggered it, and it sounded like thunder. But I did the tour. I finished the tour. I continued rehearsing with them. There was a bunch of things going on, but that's when the 25th anniversary thing kicked off. Was very shortly after that, when Marky came in. Joey had just passed away. Joey Roy had just passed away. Marky was coming in. They were doing like an honor like a tribute to the Ramones in the beginning of the set. Robo was going to play, and then I was going to play, and I felt a little bit like I would get kind of lost in the mix. So I did a couple shows, and I said, you know what, I think maybe I'm going to stay with my band, which was Murphy's Law at the time. So then I disconnected from them for a little while, and they went on to have both of them play. Then Marky played, then Robo play.
Right.
And
Can I ask
would
you?
come in every once
Can
in a
I
while.
ask you about this guy? Hold on. Bam. Can I?
That's my guy. You know. That's my guy.
Tell us about who this is and your relationship with him.
Robo is one of the coolest guys I've ever met in my life, man. I mean, when I met him, I was intimidated. You know, he was who he was. You know, I knew about him from Black Flag. I knew about him from the Misfits, and I was, you know, in awe of him, you know. But when I actually met him, he was a very nice older Colombian guy, just like I would meet, you know, down the block.
He's like a really
you know?
soft-spoken guy. You know?
Coolest guy. No, not one sense of pretentious, being pretentious in his body. You know, you know, very nice. I mean, when I met him, right, he was, you know, he had some, you know, avocados on the table that were getting ripe, and you know, he cut them open and said, hey man, you want to share an avocado with me? So yeah, let's do this. That's actually when I had the conversation. I was like, yo, Robo, what? You know, that Black Flag shit, like, what are you thinking? How do you do that, you know? And then he said, oh man, Eric, he has a really cool accent, you know?
Right.
You know, Eric, you know, when I do it, when I think of it, you know, I think of it in threes, and then I put it into fours, and then, you know, then everybody thinks that I'm making something up that they never heard of before. It's just the same thing, just, you know?
Well, in a lot of ways, his style, you'd think, you almost think it's a mistake, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's
yes,
not.
exactly,
It's not
exactly how I worded it to him.
Yeah.
Are you doing that on purpose?
But it's not. It's not a mistake.
No, you can never duplicate it, man. You know, you can never duplicate it. You know, you can make it sound round, you know, and make sense, but you'll never do it the way that he does it. And that's what makes him so incredible. And that's why the difference between somebody being technically proficient and somebody being creative, or in any instrument, is there's a big difference between those two people, you know. But he was a great guy.
Yeah. And and speaking of which, another guy from, you know, from the band that he was in, that you got really close with, is this guy, right?
My boy. This is my wedding.
Oh, at your wedding. Tell us about, for those that may not recognize him.
With the short hair, the glasses, the suit.
Yeah.
That's Cadena, my brother Des.
Yeah.
I met him, right? So then when the 25th anniversary was going on, like I said, after the tour, that's when I first met Des, you know, and he was real California-y, you know, and we started rehearsing, and, you know, I was in awe of him too, you know, but he was, you know, Des is real cool. You know, he's originally from Jersey, you know, so he's just a Jersey guy.
Isn't Des from Newark?
Yeah, Newark, yeah. He's from Newark. His father owned a jazz record label.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, an encyclopedia of music, a great guy. We had endless conversations. Oh, my boy Jimmy Williams was there too. Yes. An encyclopedia of music, very knowledgeable, great guitar player, great tone, very, you know, he could play a variety of styles. A lot of fun. You know, spent a lot of time with him. Was like my boy on the road. You know, Spike Polite. He used to rehearse at Astoria Soundworks.
And then I know I know we're skipping around here, but eventually the lineup kind of settles down with Mo, you, and Des, right?
Yeah. This is at a photo session with that famous photographer.
That's Mick Rock.
Mick Rock.
No.
Mick
Is
Rock,
it?
Yeah, who passed away? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he took this picture, but it was. I think my boy Richie Kaz, who was my drum tech, I gave him my phone and I was like, "Yo, just take pictures." Not for anything. He took some great pictures that day. But you know, all day we were with Mick Rock. Is that no? Mick Rock was.
You know what I have? I have one of those Mick Rock photos. Hold on, I have one of them
From the great, like Queen.
from the actual. This is from the actual session. People may recognize this. Here you go. Boom.
Yep. Yeah, that's like on the inside sleeve of the Devil's Reign thing. So here I am, you know what I'm saying, in the whole outfit, you know, the cutout things and the makeup and the combat boots. But yeah, those, you know, me and Dez and Mo just, you know, were doing our things for a very long time. And it was great, you know, still close to both of them, you know.
Tell us about the infamous Misfits work ethic, and specifically Mo's work ethic.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people wouldn't be able to deal with it. I don't even know if I like to think I could still do it, you know, but we rehearsed tirelessly because, right, when we're doing a set, it's, you know, we were rehearsed at the shop. You know, they live in Vernon, New Jersey. We would rehearse at the shop. We would run through the set. I mean, we would play an hour and a half set from top to bottom. We would have I have pictures. I guess it's too late, but you know, I have pictures of just like on huge pieces of paper, 50, 60, every Misfit song. You know what I'm saying? Just on the thing, we could, you know, run through all of them. So the ethic was, he had a very strong work ethic in everything that he does. The guy's the hardest working guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, some people can't deal with it. You know, but we had fun. You know, and it really, there's nothing like having confidence. And you know, when you're very well rehearsed, and you know you're in good shape, and there ain't nothing going to stop you. You could walk in front of, you know, there were times, you know, we played in Brazil, 50,000 people, you know, and it's just like, you know, this is why we rehearse the way that we do, you know, so that we can be out here and play and feel comfortable, you know, playing. So we were like a very well-oiled machine.
I'm trying to find. Here it is. I got it. I'm sorry. In doing my homework for this show, I ended up listening to this a bunch of times. I listened to it when it came out. This is the Misfits record that you play on, Devil's Reign. There's a lot of great stuff on here. Any memories? I mean, it was produced by our friend Ed Stasium, who's been on the show.
Oh yes.
I gotta say, two songs that I really like on this record are the two Dez songs, Jack the Ripper and Death Ray.
Yeah.
Dez
I gotta
sings
listen to it again. I haven't listened to it in a while. I have to listen to it again.
Any memories of this?
Right. You know, a lot of those songs were already written. You can tell, you know, Jerry, you know, wrote them. And at one thing that I did with them, you know, I did a really cool thing with them where I played in Alaska on New Year's Eve or something, and then the next show was in Hawaii, and then we spent a couple of weeks in Hawaii after, and they were in real work mode, you know, and they were recording vocals, guitars in the hotel room in like the bathroom. They were using the bathroom as like an isolation booth doing the vocals, and then they were just like, "Yo, kid, here, listen to these songs. We're gonna rent some bullshit studio. We're just gonna do like a pre-production now, you know." And
this
so
was,
a lot of those songs.
This was you, Mo, and Dez. That's it.
Well, I mean, right, Jerry's son was there, you know, Jerry Other.
Jerry Other, yeah.
But this is when, you know, he was, you know, doing like our front of house. A very talented kid, man. A kid, he's like 30-something years old. I know him since he was like 14. But he's a fucking man now.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. So yeah, he had all that, you know, portable equipment, you know, recording onto DAT, you know, at the time, big thing. And so most of that stuff was already written. They had already written a lot of it, and they just presented it to me. We went into the studio. They were like, "Okay, what would you play over this? What would you play over that?" And that was most of it. Another Lauren Cohen picture. She's awesome. We used to, you know, and we did like that. And then we started to rehearse the songs, work them out. got Ed Stasium in. You know, Ed is a wonderful, obviously a wonderful, great producer, wonderful arranger. You know, so he took some of the songs.
Let me just say there's a connection there because we talk about the Ramones, right? Ed Stasium produced the Ramones, you know, a bunch of their stuff. So there's that sort of all in the family connection. Marky Ramone, Misfits, Ed Stasium, you know.
Yeah. It's an
Daniel
incestuous
Ray.
society.
Yep.
Yeah, Daniel Ray. So
yeah,
everybody knows each other from somewhere.
Yep.
And then, you know, when we felt good about the material, you know, and then Ed came in, and then we went out to Colorado, near New Mexico. Forgive me for forgetting where it was, and we recorded it. And you know, we recorded the record, and he did a great job with it. You know, the Misfits are always going to be a band that, you know, people are going to love it or they're going to hate it. You know, it's not Glenn. You know, it's this, it's that. You know, but Jerry only, you know, has never for a second not worked hard for the band. And in my opinion, you know, if it wasn't for him keeping the band active all the time, the reunion wouldn't happen the way that it has so successfully. You know?
Absolutely. And people don't take that into account when people are like, that era. What people fail to realize is that he kept the band out there in the public eye and kept it in the mix. And it's part of what led to whatever. I mean,
sure.
I mean, you guys did a lot of work too. I mean, you guys went out and you guys did a lot of touring, a lot of shows, a lot of stuff, man. You know.
And let me tell you, and loved every second of it. Jerry only never phoned it in. You know what I'm saying? He loved every second of it. If we played a bar or we played, you know, a big show, he was 100% there. You know?
He's a unique character. You also played on the live record, which I listened to today, which is an interesting record. It's live, a lot of the stuff on Devil's Reign, and it's Jerry sings on this, and there's a couple cuts from Famous Monsters that he sings on, and a little bit from American Psycho. So it's basically Jerry singing the stuff that he sang on Devil's Reign and singing a bunch of songs that Michael Graves sings. You know?
Right.
So,
yeah, we couldn't do any of the original Misfits stuff.
You couldn't do any of the Glenn stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was at BB King's. We did that. You know, that was pretty cool too. And right, Ed Stasium produced that as well.
That's right. Well, here's something interesting. And when you and I were talking about this earlier on, Jerry's doing a solo album, and here is the cover of it. Any idea who's playing with him?
Yeah, you're looking at him.
There you go.
Oh shit! You know what? You warned me about this. These are about to die. I have my other headphones in. I'm just going to plug them in. Is that going to fuck anything up?
No. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And I'll take a break, and I'll do our last sponsor break, and we'll come back in a couple minutes with questions and stuff. Okay.
You got it.
Go ahead. Well, there you go. Who's playing on the Jerry only solo album? That guy. Our guest today on the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live is our old friend Eric Chupacabra, Goat, Arce. There you go. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Generation Records, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, DeWolf Publishing. That said, New York Hardcore Comics opened back in 2013 when lifelong friends Debo DePro and Lee Fairley combined their collections and obsessions for comic books, punk rock, toys and statues, Magic the Gathering, and all things horror. The store is located at 117 Main Street in Dobbs Ferry, New York, open 7 days a week and shipping worldwide. Contact them via email at newyorkhardcorecomics@gmail.com or at www.newyorkhardcorecomics.com. Come on now, since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as T-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. Get that crap out of your house. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email Ron Grimaldi or Mark Yoshi at generationrecords@gmail.com. Follow them on Facebook and on Instagram. You know what? Dave Scott popped up for a second before. I want to mention everybody that are sponsored DeWolf Publishing, that on Friday, hold on, let me get rid of this. On Friday, November 4th, Adrenaline OD is coming back to New York City in celebration of the release of If It's Tuesday, This Must Be Walla Walla, the wacky history of Adrenaline OD, available now for pre-order from DeWolf Publishing. There'll be a book signing, and then they are playing. Fear Gods is opening, and believe it or not, Incendiary Device. It's going to jump off tonight. So there you go. Tickets, they sold out last time they played Bowery Electric. There are still some tickets left. So take off your yarmulke, buy a ticket. Also want to mention, you know what I got to mention? The next bunch of shows. Let's do that. There's quite a gaggle of them here, but we'll burn through it fast. Of course, today is Eric Goat Arce. Sunday, this Sunday, Joseph Donofrio from Goodfellas and the Bronx Tale will be on the show. Sunday, August 25th, Jerry A. from Poison Idea. Speaking of our friend Aaron Collins from Butterbrain. Wednesday, August 31st, Angelo Moore from Fishbone and Aaron Collins. Formerly of the Foo Fighters, Wool and currently Scream. Sunday, September 4th, Franz Stahl will be on the show. Wednesday, September 14th, the legend Don Fury. By popular demand, Sunday, September 18th, Paris Mayhew and myself will be doing a music video retrospective of the 20 music videos that we did together back in the golden age of music video, including the Biohazard videos, Typo Negative, some stuff we've never talked about, the stuff we did with Fat Joe and Flatliners and Monster Voodoo Machine and stuff like that. Sunday, September 25th, come on now, from the business, Mr. Steve Whale. And then Wednesday, September 25th, Yana Chepenko will be on the show. So lots going on, a lot of good things coming up. We're marching on. We're doing it. Yes, awesome. How you doing, Hendry? Exactly. That's the next show on Sunday. So yes, Jerry A. No shit. The next 8. There you go. Yep. Debo the Pro, there he is. Just got out of work, dropped off the whip, and made it to the end of the Shizzo. Peace, Famsky, and all of the women of the pit. Yo, Debo the Pro. There you go. Did I mention that on November 13th, the lineup hasn't been announced yet? Women of the Pit is involved in this one. Oh, no, excuse me. That's the holiday show. November 13th, Rampage Fest 4 is going down at the Bowery Electric. Mark it on your calendar. We're still trying to figure out the lineup. Last but not least, on Sunday, October 16th, a big banger at the Bowery Electric. Slashers, Live Fast, Die Young. Dare I say it? Let's just say ID. The Take and No Redeeming Social Value. It's free. It's at the Bowery Electric. It's all ages. Listen, just get the fuck down to the show, right? I don't give a fuck if you have to work. I don't give a fuck about your kids or your wife. Just be at that show. All right? Make me get crazy with you about this, all right? That said, let's bring I think we covered everything, right? Oh, you know what I want to shout out? Just got a new patron on this show. I saw that. Where is that? Yo, I got to shout out Mr. James Elliott, who just became a patron. Thank you on this show. God bless you, James Elliott. Listen, if you want to jump on board, you want to stop lurking, stop your lurking. There's the Patreon address right there. All right? Support the show that supports you. Huh? All right. Cake? What is that? Cake? James Elliott. Goddamn, God bless. There he is in all his glory. Took long enough. Almost 3 years into this fakakta show. You know? What's good, GOAT? I don't know. Let's bring him back on. What's good,
snap.
GOAT?
Red Eye Devil. That's my boy.
Is that right?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Let's take some questions
Call me.
from around the world. Everybody, as we sort of poke around with GOAT a little bit. Hey, you know what we got to mention? We have to mention this band that you played for. I know there's a couple that are not going to get, but there has to be a mention of the one, the only Maximum Penalty.
Yeah.
So, can you give us a little take on your tenure with Maximum Penalty?
Yeah. You know, I lived with Jimmy Williams for a long time. I don't know how long, but we lived together, and MP was doing their thing, and then they asked me to play with them, and then I started playing with them. Right, because I had known them for a long time. Of course, I know Joe Affey forever. I know Jimmy forever. Darren had went off. They had another drummer for a little while, man, who was great. I don't remember I don't remember his name, but they were kind of looking for somebody, and Jimmy was just like, hey, it's one of those things, like, you're always right here. What would you consider it? I said, yeah, let's do this. Right in this picture, Ray Fonseca, who I met through Agents of Man, which was a great band from New Jersey. Great band, him and Zach Thorn. Mm-hmm. And Chris and Puda and Mike the Goop. That was a great band. I toured with them a lot. But not to digress. And then we just started rehearsing. Started putting things together. Jonathan Buskey, of course, playing bass. A great bass tone, great bass player, great guy. I didn't get it. Before I left New York, we didn't get a chance to do as much as I would have liked. Mm-hmm. It was kind of short-lived. We played some great shows. MP is one of the great New York hardcore bands.
Absolutely.
They brought in, they brought in such a cool, vocal melody thing, that
of that era.
Really
they were a big, of that era, that 90s. When they got rolling, then they're one of the premier bands of that era for sure.
And then the Life at Times record, is like, their master of puppets, like, boom, they just like blew out the doors with that one, and great band. Of course, just like I say with Jimmy, I'm saying I'll do anything for those guys, like I say.
A lot of people do not know that you and I made a run at it, and
that was great too, bro.
This was awesome. You're playing drums, I'm singing. Let me. I have another picture of us. There are not a lot of pictures of us.
Oh, we only played like 3 shows, right? How many shows did we play?
Did we play 3 or 4 or something like that? Here's another shot. Tell them what this is, bro.
I don't know. Oh, this is Astoria Soundworks?
Right. But what was this band?
Right, that was Seeing Red.
Yep.
A Minor Threat tribute thing.
Yep.
You gave me a call, right? You originally were going to do it with Craig Ahead, right?
Yeah.
Original. And then you were debuting, I don't know, I forgot what documentary it was, but you were like, I just want to put together something for fun. No,
yeah. It was the New York Hardcore Chronicles film 1.5 that was screening at Brooklyn Bazaar.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, for fun, we put together this Minor Threat tribute band. It was me, you, Mikey DeJean, and we ended up with Jimmy from Leeway on bass. Yeah. And we did right. Yes. We played a couple shows.
Yeah, and it was dope. It was so much fun to do.
It was fun.
I think we sounded great.
We did. We crushed it. And we did our homework. We really did our homework, man. We worked hard, and we did Minor Threat songs like from the early day and then later stuff. And we had a fucking crushing set. It was great.
We did a little Zeppelin in the middle there, right?
Yeah, we did. Right.
Nah, it was really, really great, man.
That was fun, man.
Yeah, and I had never played with Mike DeJean, man. That was a great honor for
Yeah.
me to finally play with this fucking guy.
Yeah, that was
cool.
that was a fun,
Short and
fun
sweet.
thing.
That was short and
I
sweet.
think we did the Brooklyn Bazaar. We did that show. That picture was I think the first thing was at the Take video that I did. They played after, and we played too. And I think we did Staten Island at Pugs.
Yeah,
right?
with
I think
Murphy's
those are the
Law.
three. I think those are the three. I think those are the three shows we did.
We did a show, right? We did a show at Astoria Soundworks.
Oh yeah, that was fucking great. That was fun.
You know,
right?
Intimate,
right.
private show, invitation only show.
That was great.
Yeah, it was great to work with you too.
It was, man. It was just fun to do it with everybody, and
it was great to get that call.
Yeah. Here, I want to ask you a little bit about. It kind of goes with this. I have a photo here that you sent me, and the question is, "Hey, Goat, are you wearing a Renzo Gracie team shirt? Can't see exactly. I'm using the phone. Could you give us a little bit? Is that, and give us a little bit of your love for jiu-jitsu?"
Yeah, you know, I'm like, if music influenced me when I was 11 years old, jiu-jitsu entered my life in my 30s and has influenced me just as powerfully. I am wearing a Renzo shirt. This is my professor from New York, Magna Gamma. That's his school. You know, it's my home. I live in Vegas now. I train with Gracie Humida, and I still, train jiu-jitsu. Let me tell you something. In hardcore, there's a lot of jiu-jitsu guys in hardcore, and that's probably where I first got into it. I mean, Hoya was the first guy to ever sit me down and be like, "Yo, check this out," I know you heard of it, right? But check out these videos, VHS videos of fights, and all the Gracie. They would do, the Gracie fights. They would go to other academies and challenge them, the Gracie Challenge and stuff. It's like, well, what the fuck is that? At that point, it was a complete mystery to me. This crazy form, rolling around on the floor. But Harley was the guy that said, "Hey, man, you know what? I know you like UFC and you like all that shit. You like to watch all that stuff. Why don't you consider training jiu-jitsu, man? It's the art that there's no mysticism involved in it. It's real shit. There's no katas or anything like that. It's real work, and it's a very applicable martial art. And so he took me under his wing, introduced me into this great art, introduced me to some very cool people. It progressed from there, and I've been training for 17 years or some shit now.
That's awesome.
And it's a big part of my life. I advocated to anybody out there. I'm not trying to be Joe Jiu-Jitsu, try to tell people what to do, but it's not just a martial art. It's a way of life. Make your life better. So, yes.
And a lot of our compadres, like you said, Hoya. There's also Billy Bio, Roger Moret. A lot of New York hardcore guys are into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Great thing. Real tight.
Let me ask you about this photo. I recognize him. I just can't. I don't. Who is this?
Tom Savini,
the actor.
The special effects
guy, an actor.
He's an actor. Yeah. He was in Dawn of the Dead. He was in
right.
He was in Dusk Till Dawn.
That's what confused me. I know he's an actor. I know special. Is he a special effects guy? Is he an actor? He's both, right?
He's both. He's known primarily for special effects. My wife actually graduated from his special effects school. He's got a special effects school in Monessen, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. The Columbia University of Special Effects.
Wow.
She graduated from there. But I met him through the Misfits.
Now he was involved with the Misfits video.
And George Romero, the Misfits, way before I joined the Michael Graves, they did that video for Scream.
Right.
George Romero directed it, and maybe if somebody knows, I'm going to have to assume he did the special effects for it. Yeah. But I'm not 100% sure about it. But that's how I met him, and I went to his house, and it's a museum, man.
Really?
He worked on everything. Tom
Yeah.
Savini worked on every fucking movie you could think of, like
Right.
slasher movie, Friday the 13th.
Where was this picture taken?
In his house.
Oh.
He has his house, and then he bought the house behind it, and he just like broke down the wall in between them. So like you have his house, which he was very gracious, went into his bedroom and everything. He's got shit all over the place. And the house behind it is like a museum of hundreds of thousands of things and gifts that people have given him, stuff that he's worked on. One unbelievable guy, unbelievably talented guy.
Yeah, we got a great
70s now. Looks great.
Great response from our crew, man. I didn't exactly know who he was. I recognized him as the actor from Dusk Till Dawn, but something in the back of my head said, "Isn't he a special effects guy?"
Yeah, very impressive, man. He did he did some really cool things. Guy.
That's a great shot, man.
I was a little kid. I've met people. I was awestruck meeting him. I kind of embarrassed myself. I made like a whole speech, when I met him, and I was just like, "You did too much. You did too much."
Well, I think that this is a shot.
Cannon Mathis, another great photographer.
Looks like you're waiting to go on here with the Misfits.
Yeah.
That's Jerry Other standing to the left.
Yeah. And that's Tut, who I was talking about, and Jason Wilson, who's a very good friend of the band. We did a thing in Avalon, in California, a place called the Avalon Theater. We did like 4 nights in a row. We did like a residency where we did like, Static Age. We did Walk Among Us. We did Earth AD.
Yeah.
And something else. I don't know. And it was really cool. And then we did like a best of like a Michael Graves thing. And they were great shows, man. I got, I get chills when I think about that. And actually on that trip was when I asked my wife to marry me. It was on that trip.
Hold on, I got a goat and wife picture right here. Look, we're
getting
through all the photos.
I sent you a lot.
No, you sent me a lot of good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And now, of course, you are married and you have a unit.
Wife. Yeah. And my she gave me a beautiful daughter, and I couldn't be happier. That's she's fantastic. My everything. The sun rises and sets with her.
Good for you. You deserve it. Yo, Eric, Frankie Carter here. Looking good, brother. That dad life all day.
Yeah, he's another father. There's a lot of fathers out there. Being a father I've done so many great things in my life, Drew. Being a father is without a doubt the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Good for you. Here's a question from our pal Chucky Brown, singer for Crazy Eddie, is one of our resident music historians.
Busy band.
Can he speak on playing the House of Blues with the Misfits and Travis Barker playing songs with them back in 2014? Meeting Rob Van Winkle, Vanilla Ice in 88, 89-ish, I believe on tour with Scarhead.
Yeah, I can talk about that. With Travis Barker, he was cool, man. And he's a big Misfits fan. He had come to a couple of shows. And then, obviously he lives in LA. And he was just, he told our crew, he got in touch with us and was just like, "Hey man, I'd like to come out and do a couple of songs." I was thrilled, and he came out and he did, real low key, the fucking guy is married to a Kardashian.
He came out and sat behind your drum set and did them.
Yeah. He's a big Misfits fan, and he has a clothing line too. They did a little Misfit collaboration.
Yeah,
he came out. He did. I don't know. I forgot. He did like "Dig Up Her Bones." And he played like 3 songs. He killed it. He's a great drummer. Standing like right here, like while I'm playing, you know what I'm saying? Very nice, gracious guy. And then Rob Van Winkle, Vanilla Ice. That was a tour that I did with Scarhead that we were convinced was going to be like, we don't want to tour with Vanilla Ice. Looking back on it, it's probably one of the funnest tours. Vanilla Ice, I'll call him Vanilla Ice, was a cool guy. His band was cool. Great shows, party. Scarhead was a big party band.
Yep.
We had, I don't know if it was before or after, we toured with Motorhead. Like that was the tour that we were like so psyched over. We're opening for Motorhead. It's going to be great. the worst tour. We got kicked off a tour. Everybody hated us. You know, they wouldn't give us, the whole front of house. You know, it sounded really thin. Audience hated us. It was a terrible tour. This tour, we were like, oh man, we don't want to do it. Man, we couldn't have had a better time. The shows were great. Their crew treated us really good.
What did you do so bad with Scarhead that you were thrown off the tour with Motorhead?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, that was fucked up.
You don't want to go there. I heard the story. No sense going there.
It's like, God damn, bro.
No sense digging up that story.
But how many guys can say they got kicked off a tour with Motorhead, you know?
Yeah.
The whole fucking band kicked off a tour with Motorhead. And they were going to, like, beat the shit out of me. You know, like, the tour, I won't go into the whole thing. First of all, I'm a nice guy. I didn't do half the things that they did, but I did do the other half, you know? I didn't do the half of the bad things. But, my tour manager was like, dude, like, where have you been? I was out fucking around. He said, yo, man, they just surrounded me, man. They're looking for you. Like, they just surrounded me. I thought they were going to jump me. But when they see you, they're going to fuck you up. And I was just like, hey, man, I'm arrogant, man. I'm thinking, hey, don't worry, I could talk my way out of this. I got on their bus, and if these guys were like this close to fucking just mopping the floor with me. Thank God I had fucking Boston Mike with me. I think Isaac was with me. But, it was,
Joe Appy says badge of honor.
Oh, boy. And then, that was in Cleveland. I mean, I won't go into the whole story.
Of course it was in Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks.
Yo, shit goes down in Cleveland, man.
I'll tell you right now, shit goes down in Cleveland. What a great town to play. Any band, they love it.
We also used to love Columbus. Columbus, Ohio was a great fun. Yeah,
Ohio. You'd be driving through Ohio for days.
They just love live music in Ohio. That's what it is.
And they're animals.
Yeah.
They're animals. They're animals. Yeah. Which is good. I mean, animal in a good way,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that show was in Cleveland. I had a thing that I was drinking Lemmy's Jack Daniels, I was in the thing. I yelled at their tour manager, got into a big, thought who the fuck I was. And then when we got to New York, we played the show and they were just like, yo, just stay here. But you know what?
Shit happens.
And then years later, Mitz, Brian Daniels, Mitz was playing in Madball. He was like, years later, I saw Lemmy at a festival in Europe. And I went up to him. I thought maybe like 3 years went by, the water under the bridge. And he said, yo, what's up with your drummer guy? He immediately remembered what was going on. And if I'm not mistaken, he was just like, yeah, go. Where the fuck is that guy?
Hey, here's a
I love Motorhead. Believe me, that hurt. I love Motorhead.
Listen, we all did crazy things when we were in our 20s, Astoria Lou.
I was like 38 when it happened, but whatever.
Oh, there you go. Astoria Lou just sent this to me. This is us at that infamous Astoria Soundworks show.
Yeah, invitation only.
Invitation only. Seeing Red at Astoria Soundworks. We were doing all Minor Threat stuff, and it was Dejan, Goat, me, and Jimmy from Leeway. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Great guy.
Whoa. I'm getting
Eliana when they were children.
Yeah.
Todd Youth's kids when they were children.
Yep. There you go. What else do we got? Let's do a couple more. Here's a nice picture here that you sent me with a couple of our friends. Speaking of Colombia, right?
This is in Coney Island.
Sure is.
This is me and Aaron and Vanessa, my wife Vanessa, before we got married. Alum in the center. I forget the gentleman's he's from Colombia. I forgot his name. Man.
That's Jorge. Jorge from Colombia. Yeah.
So that's the Wonder Wheel. This is we're about to do the Polar Bear Club. This is January 1st. That's we're all dressed like that.
Did you go on the one? Does the Wonder Wheel working in January? No.
No, we did the Polar Bear plunge. We went into the
water. Went in the fucking water?
Yeah. I did it like three years in a row or so, 2 years in a row. Aaron lived right there. Aaron lived across the street.
Aaron lives in Rockaway now.
Yeah, but he used to live in Brighton Beach.
Yeah. Right.
And we did it. It was great. You just run in, you dip in, and you come out, and
you just run in, you jump in, you go into shock, right? You just go into shock.
You die, you come back,
and then you run out. Ah!
But since he lived like a block away, we could just get, put our clothes back on, run to his apartment, and chill.
Sure. Here's a question from our resident graffiti. Did you ever do graffiti? Were you ever a graffiti guy?
No, that was never my.
But you ran with those graffiti guys.
Yeah, when they were a little bit older.
Yeah.
But not in the heyday. There was a lot of graffiti writers all over the hardcore scene.
Yeah.
But not my thing.
Was this? Let me ask you about this. Was this a Misfits comic? What was this?
Yeah, that's fan art. Like some, I have been lucky enough that some people would come up to you and be like, "Hey, I want you to have this." That's fan art. There's another picture too. Yeah, that's just a fan that would give us stuff. I have a lot of cool, one of a kind things like that. People love the Misfits. So they would. Yeah, they do. They would come up to that's probably in Finland or something. Some guy came up to me and gave me that. Yeah, they made like a fake Misfits. If I'm not mistaken, how cool that looks, man.
Yeah, it's great.
A lot of talented people out there.
Yeah.
But that was that's fan art. I have tons of stuff. I have a lot of cool, one of a kind things, with my name on it, Go Misfit, like flight jacket, with patches on it.
Misfits are a beloved, extremely influential band. That's no secret. I mean, they were hugely influential. I mean, I think it's safe to say they are one of the most influential bands, I think, in music history.
Yeah, and because it was the original thing was relatively short-lived. There's a great amount of mythology associated with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you have something that just happens and it goes out really quick, it's
like Minor Threat
stories. Yeah, like Minor Threat.
And
so if I could think of anybody else, but so those stories happened, and and then those guys got together. They tried to do. Do you remember Christ the Conqueror?
Of course.
Yeah, Christ the Conqueror, and then,
that was Mo Doyle. And they even got Jeff Scott Soto.
That's the name I couldn't remember.
Yeah, they got Jeff Scott Soto. They paid him to do vocals. I remember, I remember going over to the Exacto, their father's Exacto Knife factory where they were rehearsing back then during that era.
Yeah, exactly. It was like not Exacto, it was like the other company. Like Exacto's competition.
Yeah. Any memories coming up in Jackson Heights of Castle Heights?
Yeah, I live right down the street, right down the block from Castle Heights.
or Castle Fights.
Yeah. Oh my God, wow! What a great place. Frankie was the owner.
Yeah.
And Kev and John the doorman, and right. I mean, I lived down the block, but of course, I'm pointing to somewhere. The 3140, the Scarhead house, was down the block.
Ah. What was the Scarhead house? Who lived in the Scarhead house?
Everybody. The Scarhead house, they wrote a song about it.
Uh-huh.
It was down the block too. So like we would go there, we would do whatever we were going to do, bring whoever we were going to bring back to wherever they were going to go to. And either they were going to go to my place or they were going to go to the Scarhead house. Right. And that was, everybody, Boston Mike lived there, Isaac lived there, Aaron lived there, people would move out and then somebody else would move in. John Pierce, lived there. Who I don't know if you know who John Pierce is, but Damien lived there, and that was just a place of debauchery. I don't even want to speak about it too much. Those guys could tell you. You're gonna have Aaron on. He lived there for a little while. There was just and it was right there. We would go to shows, go back to the Scarhead house. Hang out at the Scarhead. Joey Nubbs, Joe Nagy lived there as well. I'm just giving you a little bit of taste of who used to live there. But Castle Heights was a great place to see shows. A lot of great bands went there. Anvil, I saw Anvil there.
Wow.
A lot of hardcore bands, like a dirty rock and roll bar. Real dirty.
This just got sent to me. I like when shit happens in real time. This was just sent to me. Was it Frank who sent? Oh, Frankie Carter just sent this to me. Here you go. In real time, the New York Hardcore Chronicles live. Boom.
Yowza. Oh my God. like 15 years old in this picture. You know, it looks like.
Yeah. I think
that's
he's
Frankie
saying,
too.
Eric and I, the Scarhead Hatebreed Madball Earth Crisis tour 1,000,000 years ago.
That's probably in like St. Louis. I think he's from St. Louis or in that area. I forget.
Right.
So Madball, Earth Crisis, Scarhead, Hatebreed. When Hatebreed was just coming up, the first record just came out.
Yeah.
Earth Crisis, you know, Carl was
Yeah.
leading a fucking revolution, you know. Madball, of course, you know, just
That tour should have
height
been
of it.
called, that should have just been called like the We'll Fight Everybody tour.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. Straight, you know, you got Carl there, you know, you got this big straight edge scene there, and then you got us, you know, who was on it was Richie Scam, you know, falling asleep drunk on stage, you know.
But Earth Crisis and Madball always had love for each other.
Yeah, no. Between us, there was nothing but love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the crowd of like the party crowd and the, you know, don't
Right.
drink milk crowd,
Yeah.
you know, you figure. But hey, you know what? One of the great tours.
Yeah.
And at a cool time, you know. Hatebreed, you know, which, you know, went on to become, you know, the band that made it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they made out. Good,
That first
good way of putting
brilliant
it. Yeah.
fucking record, man, just came out, and you could smell the tension in the air.
Hey, doing my homework for this show, I did learn, I did not know this, but that you play drums on the Rock and Roll Monster album for Electric Frankenstein. Right?
I did. Yes, I did. I think.
Wasn't that the one?
Yeah. Rick is on that. Do you have the thing, or is it just the picture?
I don't know.
I recorded like 2 or 3 songs that I believe are on that record. Yeah. Rick was in. What band was Rick Rick in? It was in like an old school.
Yeah, like New York. What was it? Rick L. Rick?
He's from Cal. He's Cali.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed, man. But it was so cool to play with him. He passed away, by the way. Please, somebody help me, man.
I'll get
but we did a couple. He did, you know. Wow, I wasn't expecting you to put that up. You just flooded me with shit. He was Meat House. There was a song called.
He was in Electric Frankenstein, yeah.
But he was in a very important old school punk band that I remember Dez was listening to, and I was like, oh shit, yo, I played with that guy.
Negative Trend?
No, something else. Something else.
Huh. Yeah, according to Wikipedia, you played drums on it. Hey,
I did.
Yo, how about that? Sean Dixon. Come on.
My man.
F word, is that it? Is that it, Dave Scott?
F word. Yeah, that's it.
Right. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
I forget a lot, man. I forgot that I played on that fucking thing.
Speaking of Castle Heights and fucking, there you go, Sean Dixon.
Always showed me nothing but love, Sean. Nothing but love.
Great, man. I did a lot of traveling with Sean, and that was great, man.
First time I met Sean, not the first time I met Sean. First time I was on the road with Sean. He came out with Murphy's Law. What he did, but we were playing someplace upstate or in Connecticut, and he kicked through. I was an EMT. He thought it was like bungalows, and he thought it was our bungalow. It was a family on vacation. He kicked down their door or some shit, you know, at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus.
Cut his leg so bad. He could tell me, if he could tell you, I think he got like 148 stitches in his leg or some crazy shit like that. And I was an EMT, man. They woke me up. I'm asleep.
Go.
Yeah. Go wake up. Anytime something would happen, people would call me. It happened with Scarhead and Madball on that tour that we're talking about. Somebody fainted in the middle of the crowd. I'm in the fucking bathroom with somebody, you know, whatever. And you know, I hear the show stop, and they're like, "Yo, go get out here!" And some girl is passed out.
Yo, go! Someone's hurt.
Yeah. On the mic, you know, Freddie's like, "Yo, get go."
How about Paul Stone asked, favorite Todd Youth story? Do you have a Todd Youth recollection you can impart on us?
Yeah, a lot. Todd Youth story. I mean, I could tell you that guy was such a fucking pain in the ass in my life. You know, when we were in the band together, man, he was such a pain in the ass, man. But when we got tight together, we were real tight. Let's see. I mean, I remember a fight. Me and him had a fight, like an argument. We were in Japan.
I know this story. It's a good. Go ahead. I know this. Story. Yeah, you told me the story.
I don't know. I always think about it, because it was like I mean, we were like pushing each other. We were like in a bathroom, and he was, getting all fucking pissed off at each other, and he was like, I'm fucking Todd Youth, and one day you'll be able to say that like you played in a band with Todd Youth. So like you'll be nobody, and you'll be your best, the best thing you'll be able to say is that you played in a band with Todd Youth, or you played on a record with Todd Youth. And yeah, it's true. I mean, you didn't have to be a dick about it,
Right.
But there were other times. It was a really cool story that I remember. We used to tour with the Toasters a lot. The ska band, the Toasters.
Murphy's Law used to tour.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, sure.
And there was a thing where the drummer for them, this guy named Jonathan, he was going to be late for the show, and Bucket, the main guy in the Toasters, was like, "Yo, Goat, can you start the set with us? Just play the first like 3 or 4 songs." And I'm with Todd Youth, and Todd's like, "Yeah, of course he could do it, And I was just like, "Yo, Todd, man, I don't know if I could do this, And he was just like, "Yo, now you got to man up, Fucking, you're gonna play drums for the Toasters tonight." So I said, "Okay." So I got up and we toured with them a lot. I knew the songs. They used to open with the Monsters. They used to do like a ska version of the Monsters theme. They had big hits. Weekend in LA. If people know the Toasters, yeah, that's so Todd Youth. What a guy. And I went out.
Todd Youth had some arrogance to him for sure.
Listen, if you knew Todd, anybody that comes out here and says that Todd Youth was flowers and fucking daisies all the time didn't know Todd Youth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One of the things that you loved about him, and you look back on him, is because, and if you could be cool with Todd Youth, then you did it. That vicious dog. Oh, you could pet him. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a story like that about Todd Youth, then like I say, man, you didn't know Todd Youth. And but anyway, I'm playing the thing with the Toasters with Todd Youth right next to me, like a little girl, like jumping up and down, being like, and I mean, I killed it. I just had to play 3 songs,
Right.
And it sounded great, And you know what Todd did? He gave me a pair of, those are the shoes, right? The thick-soled shoes, right? They're called creepers, right?
Creepers, yeah.
Creepers. After that thing, he was so excited for me, man. He was like, "Yo, you killed it." It was such a, an affirmation, that he was just like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna give you my creepers, man. You earned."
He gave you his creepers?
He had a whole bunch of them. Yeah, stylish like a motherfucker, let me tell you. Todd Youth was, stylish, and in those days, he was living on Avenue B, with the Clowns for Progress, like Avenue B on like 5th Street, 4th Street, running the East Village, the Lower East Side.
Yeah, he was a talented dude. I miss him, man.
Yeah, of course.
He's a guy I wish was still around. He really added something to the whole thing.
Yeah, that stings. Yeah, we lost a lot of people that really stings that they're gone, man. Because at one point we were immortal. You know what I'm saying? At one point, nothing could have stopped any of us.
I got a message. In real time. This is from Larry the Hunter, Lawrence Naroda.
Another one of my boys.
Looks like you guys on the way to Japan, apparently.
Yes, sir. On our way to Japan. That's when COVID was a whisper. People were
right.
We had a connecting flight in China that they had to change because they were like, "There's this sickness going around in China." And we're gonna, you're gonna stop in Australia or whatever, and then we were there. When we got back about a week later, like the world changed forever, But yeah, that's on our way out there. Maybe we had like one rehearsal, but we were all very. I mean, Larry, the fucking guy's a great guitar player. Been playing with Murphy's Law off and on forever, and
lost you there for a second.
Well, Clowns for Progress. But that was a great lineup. We went out there, just played strictly punk rock. I missed Raven on that tour. I always like playing with Raven. I like playing with horns and shit. We can do the ska stuff.
Hey, by the way,
127. There you go. I want to say 148.
for first time out with Murphy's Law, Todd Youth was like that, and was like that. Was awesome. You got to come on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Sean was fucking green he lost so much blood, man. Yeah, that was a fucking heavy thing.
Yeah, I've been on the road. I've been out on the road back in the Marauder days with Sean Dixon. We had some fun times, you know. Hey, you know, I think we had a good run today. I wanna thank you so much for being on the show. What can I say? I really enjoyed it, man.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's what this show's all about. You know, this is the last photo, and I gotta say, is this where is this? Is this in Nevada? Where is this?
No, that's in like Arizona. We played like an Indian reservation.
Who did, Murphy's Law or the Misfits?
No, Misfits.
Right.
Misfits. And yeah, you know, I ended up making a friend out there, and you know, took me out to do some hiking, and it was a great weekend. You know, I did a lot of great little shows like that, you know, in and out, you know, really cool things. So that was in Arizona or somewhere like that.
Anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out?
You know, I mean, okay, I wrote. I can't forget to thank my wife.
No, go ahead.
You know, I may sound corny, you know, but you know, I'm a very happy man. I lead a very simple life. Thanks, Joe. You know, and it's because you know, I'm married to a wonderful woman who gave me a godsend of a daughter, and you know, we bought a house, and you know, we lead a simple life. I miss music, you know. I still play music, you know, but you know, it was a bunch of years that I couldn't imagine my life, you know, like not being touring all the time and everything. But I got to say, I'm a very happy man. Doesn't take a lot to make me happy, you know, and I have everything I need. And I want to wish, if you don't mind me saying, you know, my sister-in-law, Susie Arce and Cecilia Arce, both their birthdays today. So I wish them a happy birthday. My boy, Mason Webb, who I work for, has been very helpful to me out here. Butterbrain put out a new single, you know, that I'm sure that you're going to be talking about. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
I've been working with Aaron, is one of my closest friends, for a long time. I've been working with him for since he was like 13 years old, you know what I'm saying? And here we are in our 50s, you know? So, you know, congratulations to him and his band and his people, you know, all the fuck people out there, you know, everybody in New York still doing your thing. You know, I miss you all. And, you know, I wish you all very well, you know, keep yourselves healthy, you know. Drew, you know, you're doing a great thing out there. You know, you're mixing it up. You're keeping a lot of people, you know, entertained and informed. And it's lovely to see, man. So,
thank you.
You know, shout out.
I do it because I love it.
And I could see that. You know, you have to be blind not to see that, you know.
Yeah.
Those are the best people. So, you know, God bless all of you guys. You know,
I have I'm playing with Aaron coming up. We're reviving. We're doing our Drew Stone Hit Squad thing, and we're getting our acoustic.
The acoustic thing, yes.
Yeah, we're getting that. We got a gig. We got an offer we couldn't refuse, and we're getting the band back together. And this time, Aaron's going to be involved in it. We're trading. We're trading instead of Cato Reardon from the Pogues. We got Aaron Collins from White Trash, and you know. And Butterbrain. So
yeah,
you know,
tremendous player.
All right.
So yeah, my love to all you people out there. You know,
I hope you come back to New York soon, and I know you're coming back pretty soon. Aaron told me, but you know, we'll see you soon, man. All the best to you and your family, and you're welcome back anytime, my old friend.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Have a nice night. Thanks for all the questions and everything. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Okay. Peace.
What can I tell you? We do great shows. We do great shows. What a great guest. What a great show. That was awesome. I knew it was going to be great. I knew it. Wow. We're almost 3 hours in on this one. Wow. What a great show. Good. Bam. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Goddamn great show. Whew. Marathon show today. Really, sure was, man. I want to mention this Sunday should be another very interesting show. I love when we have actors. I love when we have actors and film people on. But this Sunday is Joseph D'Onofrio, of course, from Goodfellas and Bronx Tale and Gravesend. Has a big graffiti background. He's a Brooklyn guy. This guy was in the mix, Lords of Brooklyn and all that. This is going to be a very, very cool show. That's coming up this Sunday. Until then, when's Doyle coming on? I've talked to Doyle about coming on a bunch of times. Doyle really doesn't have much to say, to be honest with you. Doyle's not a big talker. Doyle don't have much to say, and he doesn't want to put the makeup on just to come on the show. So I don't know. I don't know if the Doyle thing is going to happen. Well, John Wolf, I'm glad you caught the last half hour. Yeah, it was a good show. Really good show. That said, once again, thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday. Until then, do good things. Good things will come to you.